Hello? Are we live? Let's see. We are live, guys. Okay. Let me share this around. Okay. Give me a sec. Okay. Let me send this to everybody. Okay. Hold on, I'll check the chat. After I send this. Hello guys, how are you? Anyone who's joining? Sorry this is taking a bit. I'm trying to share this with everybody I can. Because, yeah. Okay. Alright. So, yo, what's up, Jakey? Alrighty, so, today is going to be a bit random. I was going to play Starfield today, continue our little series we started a couple of weeks ago, but I decided that I want to do something more casual, just chillax, maybe watch some videos or something, you know. I think that'll be fun. That's just my opinion, of course. So, I think we can... Do you guys want some background music? Should we put on some background music? To set the mood, or... Are we all cool with just this going on, right? Like, okay, also... Give a suggestion for whatever video you want to watch. Anything is fine. I don't care. It doesn't have to be gaming related. It can be whatever. You know. Harmon's top 10 most downplayed Nintendo games. Should we watch that? I think that would be funny to start this list off. Hopefully it's not too long. I don't want to spend all day watching it, right? So I'm just going to search Harmon Smith Nintendo, okay. Okay. Let's see here. It's only 20 minutes, okay. Here it is. Top 10 most downplayed Nintendo games, okay. Alrighty, this is something we can get started with. Y'all, yeah, shouldn't take too long. Let's do this. Oh, wait. Do you guys want me to put on some background music? Like, while we're watching this? Because I know he doesn't. Oh, it's going good. Should I put on some background music? Not for a video. Okay, sure. We'll just listen to it.
Sick of all the ads?
Yeah,
like
I am sick of all the ads.
Just head to adskiller.com, click on Activate Now.
Okay. Did you guys hear that, by the way? That little ad thing. I want to make sure that everyone heard that.
On this channel, we spend a lot of time talking about downplayed.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure everyone can hear the video. Alrighty. 6 likes. Ooh, it's his best video yet.
Nintendo games. We talk about games that the gaming media love to pretend were bad or try to
Yeah,
ignore the
exactly.
significance of. Right?
I want
there
YouTube
are
to get
dozens and
like,
dozens examples.
I bet a lot of people would stay on YouTube and not use other sites if YouTube would just allow them to have ad blockers. Like, I don't get why YouTube doesn't add ad blockers, because I think about it this way, because the people that have ad blockers are they're going to keep doing that, right? So you're not going to make money off of those people. The only thing is you're making it a little harder for them. Excuse me. And they're definitely not going to pay for premium. So, I'll never understand that.
Over the past several years alone. But for a very long time, I've been wanting to put together a list of the games that I felt were the most disrespected.
Okay,
right?
so
These
we're gonna watch
are the top 10 downplayed games.
So these are the most... Okay, guys, so these games we're about to hear are downplayed so hard... Yeah, so these games aren't popular.
On Nintendo hardware.
Okay.
Right off the bat, we have a bit of a weird one. Fire Emblem Awakening.
Fire Emblem Awakening, hold on. Fire Emblem Awakening. Which one is that? That's the 3DS game. I think it's the game that came out after... No, wait. Was this the one... No, this wasn't the one that brought back the series, was it? It was the game before that. It was... Was it? So there was a game, Fire Emblem game for the 3DS that is known for bringing back the series. I can't remember if it was this game or another one. These are not that expensive. 69. Ooh, saucy. Very saucy.
This is considered one of the best games on 3DS. It was a huge hit when it came out.
Yeah.
But there is no denying, to a certain extent, it has been downplayed. What do I mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Hardcore fans of older games have desperately tried over the past decade to pretend that Awakening was a major shift in tone for the franchise, that it casualized it, that it ruined the entire thing. But in reality, Awakening is what saved the franchise, right? Everything the franchise...
Well, I don't know much about Fire Emblem, so I can't really comment on whether or not he is telling the truth. But I bet you guys can, so... Yeah, and Awakening is the game that saved the franchise, so why is it downplayed then? A lot of people who played Awakening play Fire Emblem to this day, so how is it downplayed? That makes no sense to me. I think he means like downplayed by hardcore fans, which... Okay. But not everybody.
Did, up to this point, came together in this...
But I mean, okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. That's why it's in top 10, right? It's in top 10 space. So, that's why it's downplayed.
Wonderful RPG.
But it's not downplayed by everybody.
On 3DS.
Okay.
But
I don't know
even
much,
now,
so I'm gonna skim
you'll see people pretend favorite games on the 3DS.
Okay.
Everybody knew this was going to be a hit right when it was shown off. The idea was new and interesting. The game was...
Oh, Splatoon. Hold on, what? Wait.
Colorful.
Splatoon? Downplayed? Hold on.
The fact that Nintendo was finally producing their own...
Splatoon downplayed? Hold on. I still don't understand.
What? Online shooter was a unique idea. This was a phenomenon waiting to happen. And the game did extraordinarily well. It's one of Nintendo's biggest new IPs. It's phenomenally popular. And yet there remains a subset of Nintendo fanboys that love to pretend as if this game is not a big deal.
What? I've never heard... Even someone like myself who isn't a fan of Splatoon. Well, to be fair, I haven't played it. But it hasn't interested me enough to play it, right? Even for someone like myself, to say that it's not important is just ridiculous, right? That's just... Like, whoever says that's an idiot. But, of course, we know Harmon is the king of straw manning. So, this person, these fanboys, may not even exist. Right? I've never heard anyone say that. Well, yeah, exactly. I've never heard anyone downplay Splatoon, right? But
there are a lot of people that will complain
first
every time
game-
Splatoon is shown off during a Nintendo Direct.
No, but he's talking about Splatoon in general. He's not just talking about the first game. He's talking about the game, period. He said in the Direct, so he's talking about the games, like the franchise. I think he... Okay, so last one was about the game, but this one is about the franchise, so...
Right? There are a lot of people who like to say the game isn't very well thought out or isn't very original or isn't a whole lot of fun, and it couldn't be more obvious that these people have no idea what they're talking about, right?
I mean, again, this is another one I can't be like... Yeah, it's meant to be Nintendo's Fortnite, which is hilarious. Sony copied Splatoon, and then they fumbled. Well, technically it was Square Enix, but whatever. Point is, they copied Splatoon, and then they fell hard. Like, no one played that game. Because it looked basic, bro. It was the most basic-looking game I've ever seen, right? Yeah, it's not Mario, but it's still popular. Again, another straw man, right? But, okay, benefit of the doubt time. Okay.
Going into the release of both Splatoon 2 and 3, we had to deal with people who were insisting that, like, the games had not changed enough from the previous entries. And
well, that's because Nintendo's treating Splatoon like Call of Duty, right? Like, minimal changes, but changes where it makes it slightly better or worse, depending on who you ask. Which, in Call of Duty's case, they've made it worse, but I'm assuming in Splatoon's case they made it better. But Nintendo is treating it like Call of Duty, so I mean, I don't really get that complaint. Again, it's a big straw man. So I think it's just a big straw man.
That's obviously not true if you actually play the games, but that's going to be a reoccurring theme of this list. Is the vast majority of people complaining about these titles really have no idea what these games are like at all.
To be fair, he is right. I have no clue what this game is like at all. I've never played it. I have no plans on playing it. But yeah. If you guys in the comments can tell me, like, am I right, though, about the Call of Duty analogy for those who have played it? Am I right how the games aren't, like, extremely different from each other, but they get, like, slightly, like, they do something different each time to make it better each time, or maybe more unique? That's what I'm wondering. But yeah.
Splatoon, everything
I'm
about
assuming
the
it's like
design,
that.
about the update schedule, about the way the game is handled.
Ooh, a cool idea for a video or a live stream, playing Call of Duty Black Ops 1 on stream. I actually, if you check my banner on YouTube, I have a steelbook of Call of Duty Black Ops 1, so I think that would be fun to do.
It's very, very deliberate.
So,
it's always
I might play
evolving.
that.
They're always doing new and interesting things.
I think
And
that would be fun.
to this day, I consider this one of the
Okay, I'm going to skip this.
most interesting new IPs that wish that more people acknowledge that. This might not be obvious to people who haven't been watching a ton of YouTube over the past
GoldenEye!
20 years.
GoldenEye downplayed. Wow, imagine saying GoldenEye is downplayed. Alright, okay. So, this game I have played. I haven't played Awaken. I haven't played Splatoon. But I have played GoldenEye. And to say that it's downplayed online is the funniest thing I've ever heard. That is literally hilarious. Like, genuinely hilarious. To say that this is downplayed, because all I have heard about GoldenEye is good things. Is people praising it. Like, they're like, man, I remember playing this on the Nintendo 64. Multiplayer was so fun. I played it on Rare Replay on the Xbox. It was pretty fun. For what I did play. I might try to play it again. But, like, downplayed, I don't think... And then people, like... I don't get this. Yeah, GoldenEye revolutionized FPS games, so of course, like, oh, but no, it's downplayed, guys. Like, a lot of these games are like not downplayed, and all I've heard from all the games is just praise, constant praise from everybody. I've never heard anyone downplay any of these games, right?
But
so far, none of these games have been downplayed, as far as I know.
There has always
But
been...
then again, I'm not a hardcore Nintendo shill, so I don't know.
This very weird disrespect to GoldenEye's legacy, right? In spite of being such a huge phenomenon when it came out, a huge innovator on N64, being, the game that proved that first-person shooters were better on consoles, especially Nintendo consoles.
Oh. Did he? Did he just say FPS games are better on consoles? Not only just consoles, but Nintendo consoles. I gotta step back here. Hold on. I gotta replay that. There ain't no way he just said that. If he said that, he's an idiot.
You see, right?
Hold
In spite
on.
of being such a huge phenomenon when it came out, a huge innovator on N64, being, the game that proved that first-person shooters were better on consoles, especially Nintendo consoles.
That's funny. That is funny. Hold on. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Harmon, okay, give credit where it's due. He is a funny guy. That is hilarious. Hold on, that deserves a comment right there. What is this? Right here?
We're better on consoles.
We'll do 428. Well, I cannot spell. Bro, I cannot spell, bro. I just can't believe he said that. I just can't believe he said that. Man, and oh boy. That is funny. I'm not good at typing, by the way. Sorry if that took forever. That is so funny. That is so He is the funniest person online. Like, say what you will about what he thinks, but he is hilarious.
Nintendo consoles. This game has been treated as if it's not all that interesting or special, right? That it's not, that it was always very overrated and it never really did anything noteworthy. Which is, of course, 2D platformers ever made was met with scorn and derision when it was first shown off.
Is this Donkey Kong?
How many reviewers did you see complain about how this game wasn't going to sell Wii?
Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Again, another one I've heard relatively positive things about, right? I heard people say it was good. Not great, but it was really good. I've heard a lot of people say it was fun. So, again, another one I haven't played, but another one that I heard genuine positive things about, right? I still can't believe it. Yeah, shooters are better on console, especially Nintendo console. That 2 FPS I get on Doom Eternal really is great. I love it. Oh boy.
Use and how it was
okay, real talk here though, but shooters are better on PC because with shooters, it doesn't matter how good your game looks. It's about the FPS. It's about the FPS. If your FPS is low on a shooter, then you're not gonna do good, right? Because you have to react fast. But when it's 30 FPS, you're at a disadvantage, right? It may sound silly, but it's true. You're at a disadvantage being on 30 FPS in a multiplayer shooter, right? So like, but imagine playing on a device like the Switch, where you don't have a choice. You can't change your frame rate. You can't change it to 60. You can't change it at all. You have to play at 30. And, yeah, because at least with consoles, like the newer ones anyways, you can, like, choose to play and, like, you can, like, lower the graphics and play at a higher frame rate, right? But with Nintendo Switch, you do not get a choice. So, whatever, right? I don't play shooters, really. Not a big fan of multiplayer-centric games in general. I like playing more single-player games, but I do know that single-player, or, that FPS matters in shooters. Yeah, 60 FPS is, like, almost required. Right? It's like, if it's not 60 FPS, you might as well just not play it. The shooter, at least online anyways. So we're just going to skip over this too, because again, I don't know nothing about this game. Okay.
Always heavily disrespected. That to me really demonstrates the mindset that the vast majority
I do want
of
to
the
play
gaming
this game,
audience
though.
wants. It's seen as a
I
disappointment.
am probably going to buy it.
Tropical Free platformer, how it was, right? The reality is 14. More than any other
Luigi's
game,
Mansion.
I feel like this one
Okay,
should
I
have
played
been
Luigi's
a major
Mansion.
success.
I'm gonna drink a root
The sheer
beer.
amount of self-important YouTubers I see trying to pretend that Luigi's Mansion 2 was a bad game is laughable. Right? The criticisms essentially amount to the fact that the
Root
game
beer
is
is
a
the
lot
best
more
pop,
cartoony
changed
than
my
the original,
mind.
and
Root
that it
beer
has
is
a
the best
mission-based
pop, changed
structure,
my
which
mind.
apparently ruins the
You can't,
entire
because
experience.
there is no
It's
other
completely
better
broken.
pops.
They didn't do anything.
Okay. Luigi Mansion 2. Again, another one that I have played it actually though. It's in my collection in my closet. It's not in the picture that is on my banner, but I do have the game and I have played it. Not as much as I would like to. I really enjoyed what I played. I thought it was good. This is the only one I'm kind of like not totally disagreeing with him on. Because I have heard a mix where some people are like, wow, it's super good. And then some people just downplay it like, oh, it's really not that good. Yeah. This is one, if you put Super Mario 64 DS on this list, then I will 100% agree with him. Because that game gets downplayed so hard. But so far, like, again, this one, I semi agree with him. It does kind of get downplayed, but, like, would it be on a top... okay. This, if I was making a list like this, right? If I was making a list like this, I would put this at number 10, because... But I don't even think I could make a list like this. It would be, like, top 5, maybe. No, root beer is the best. What are you smoking? Obviously, you're not drinking the right brand if you think it sucks. Excuse me. I'm drinking A&W, by the way. But yeah. But this is the only one I semi-agree with him on. But,
thing good at all, apparently. And that couldn't be further than the
at
truth.
the same
Like,
time,
Luigi's Mansion
all he's probably going to do is Straw Man. I don't really care, though. What's this? Is this Metroid? Wait. Oh, no, this is Luigi. Oh, no, it's Metroid. What? Oh, that's Metroid Samus Returns. Again, another one I kind of do agree with him on a little bit, but honestly, not really. It does get downplayed because you see, the reason why people don't think Samus Returns, like, people downplay Samus Returns is because Nintendo, when this was coming out, when Samus Returns was coming out, they got rid of another Metroid 2 remake, which was very popular in the Metroid community. It was like a remake, or more like reimagining of Metroid Prime, or Metroid 2. And Nintendo, when this game was coming out, Samus Returns, when this remake was coming out, Nintendo nuked another Metroid 2 remake, but it's still alive and well to this day. Like, you could probably find it online. But they nuked it, right? And yeah, that's why people don't really like this. It's not because the game is bad in and of itself. The game, I heard, is actually really good. But I think the reason why people like have ill will towards this game is because it got rid of one of the best like fan projects. It's kind of the reason why one of the best fan projects was deleted. But yeah.
It's crazy to me that we went through a 5-year period where people were complaining about not getting enough Metroid. Where's my Metroid? Why are you disrespecting Samus, Nintendo? And the moment she comes back...
The thing is, though, they want... No, you see, he doesn't understand. We want new Metroid. And also, I don't think anyone would have had a problem with this if they didn't get rid of another Metroid 2 remake, right?
This remake of Metroid 2... Oh, this isn't good enough. This is what we wanted. We had a better remake already. This
yeah, exactly.
Good, right? That was the narrative for a good long while. And
well, I mean, I don't know about better remake, but there was a remake that fans loved, and then Nintendo got rid of it, right? He's not telling the full story, right? He's thinking people are just saying, yeah, well, we had a better remake, so. No, it's because Nintendo nuked, or at least attempted to nuke another Metroid 2 remake. So that's why people... probably have more ill will towards
Considering
this.
we had already gotten a new Metroid game with Federation Force. All right, this is the second.
Federation Force. Oh, another funny joke from Harmon Smith. Federation Force. That's funny. Federation Force. That's hilarious. Yeah. If you don't know what Federation Force is, it was an interesting Metroid Prime spin-off game where it was like a multiplayer thing. It was weird. It was dumb because everyone was wanting Metroid Prime 4 or another Samus game, right? But instead they give us Federation Force, which is like it butchers the art style of Metroid. It butchers the art style of Metroid. It turns everyone to a chibi, right? And I heard the multiplayer was solid, but like... No one wanted this. We wanted either if you're gonna make a spinoff, at least make it about Samus, right? At least make it about the character. But no, make it an online game.
That
nice.
People disrespected. And what you have to understand is that, like, with the way things looked when this first came out, for several years, nobody really should have gotten a lot more fair than it got. And I am still angry. Ooh, now we're getting to the big boys.
Okay, here's the big
One of the
boys.
most downplayed games ever, the new Super Mario Bros. Games. It's so crazy thinking about...
Nah, Buddy did not just pull out the new Super Mario Bros. Okay, so, let's break it down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's break it down. So... The first one, the Wii and the DS games, are not downplayed. In fact, there are still people making videos about... In fact, there's a guy that I'm sub to. Hold on. Let me go to YouTube real quick. I'm going to open a new tab. There's a guy that I'm sub to. And I'll just go to my subscriptions. How do I... Oh, it's over here. Subscriptions. Okay. Let's see. Where is he? Sorry. Well, this is epic gameplay right here. Yeah. Gian Nathan. He makes videos. Look at this. Look at this. This is a video on Wii right here. This is made 2 weeks ago. Like, this is made 10 days ago. And it says, if I die, the Mario game gets worse. And that's Wii right there in the thumbnail. Let's see. Let's go to just his videos right now. Look at this. 6 days ago, he made a Look, Super Mario Brothers Wii video. People are still playing this to this day. And look, and he also plays the DS game right here. Let's see. Right here, look, see? Right here. DS game right here. These games are not downplayed, but the newer ones are downplayed. Or not downplayed, but they're bad. The reason why the newer ones are downplayed, the newer ones, is because they are mid. They're not bad, but they are very mid. And are not fun. I haven't played 2 yet, the 3DS game, but I have played U, like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. And I haven't beat it. I've had it for years, and I still haven't beat it. And I've tried to beat it consistently. I just get so bored of the game. The game is so boring. And I love New Super Mario Bros. DS. Like, excuse me, I think it's one of my favorite Mario games of all time. Right? This is coming from someone who loved the DS game. I love the DS game. But the reason why the sequels are downplayed is because they just feel the same. They feel the same as this one. Except they don't, because they're worse. They're worse than this game. So, I mean, there you go. I explained it. What's this? Oh, no. Please don't be what I think this
Everyone
is.
who told you the controls were broken were lying to you.
Yeah,
this is one of the best
Star Fox 64
games on
not
Wii
Star
U.
Fox 64, Star Fox Zero. Sorry for hurting the name of taking the name of 64 in vain. Zero. Me and Jakey already talked about this in the infamous in our now infamous stream talking about Harmon Smith's top 10 games of all time. It's very infamous now. But any Harmon Smith fan knows what I'm talking about. But Star Fox Zero, again, I'm just gonna reiterate what I said last time. The reason why this is downplayed is because it actually is bad. It's very bad. The controls are bad. Just feels like 64 but worse. Again, the controls are bad. This is the first true Star Fox game to come out since, I guess, Commander on the DS, and even then, that one was goofy. The controls are bad. This game's bad. Did I mention the controls are really bad? But yeah. So, enough said. Don't need to watch the rest. Is this still... What's this? Oh, whoops. What? No, I don't want subtitles. Is this? Oh,
it's re-released, and who knows when that's going to happen?
I know the next game, I think.
Although Tears of the Kingdom is a game that's been heavily downplayed by the gaming media,
is this
that's being ignored by critics. That's being
okay, chat. This man is trying to say that Breath of the Wild is downplayed. Breath of the Wild, the first game in this duology is downplayed. Heck no. It won Game of the Year in 2017. And I'm wondering if he's referring to now it's getting downplayed. Well, the thing is, the reason why it's getting downplayed now is because there have been better open world games. And heck, even Tears of the Kingdom is way better than this game, right? That's not saying much, because this game it's fine. It's not even the best Zelda game I've ever played. But he is right, it's downplayed. But again, just like Star Fox Zero, for the right reasons. It's not downplayed because... it's not even downplayed that much. People still look at this game and are like, hey, I remember that game. That game was pretty fun. Yeah, it's overrated. Yeah. If anything, it's overrated, not even downplayed. And when people do downplay it, it's like, oh, we've had better games since then. Or better open world games since then. And I'm inclined to agree with that. So, I mean, it's when people downplay it, again, it's for the right reasons. Because we've had better games. And heck, its sequel's better. Okay, what's next? What? Hold on, what's this?
What could possibly top everything else on the list? What game is so ridiculously unpopular that it could top a list of 9 really, really heavily disliked Nintendo games.
Okay.
How about Devil's Third, a game that was developed
Third. I have never heard of this game. Huh? I guess that shows how popular it is, right, guys? Guess he's right about how unpopular it is. Never heard of this game, so this is the game I 100% agree is downplayed. Because I've never heard of it, and I can't argue against that. Like, all these games I've heard of, and I've even played a handful of them, but this game, Harmon finally got a W. I've never heard of this game. And yes, he is right, it is downplayed. Because no one played it. It is downplayed because nobody played it. Oh boy. Okay, we're done with this. Next video. Alrighty. So, what do you guys want? Take me to the homepage, YouTube. What do you guys want? What do we want to watch here? Okay. What are we going to watch here? Alright, we can watch. You have a vid? Okay. I will watch anything. I hate Instagram comments. I don't even watch videos about Instagram on my channel, and I don't know why that's up there. YouTube is scaring me now because, like, I remember, like, I have Instagram on my phone, and, ooh, 33 minutes. Oh yeah, I haven't changed that. Yeah, I don't watch YouTube on my PC that much. Let me fix that real quick. Sorry, my bad, guys. I was blinding you. What the heck? Well, what the heck? What in the goofy awe is my recommendation? Is what? What are these thumbnails, bro? I've seen this video. This video is really good right here. But no politics. Shut up. No politics. No politics on this channel. Give me a new recommendation, YouTube. Okay, that's better. But yeah. Let us do. So what do we want to watch? 33 minutes. I don't know. I don't know if I could. Depends on how good it is. Okay. What video is it? Excuse me. What video is it? Ballin'? I'm a criminal. Let's watch this while we wait. This one's my favorite.
Mama, I'm a criminal. Mama, I'm a criminal. Mama, I'm a criminal. Mama, I'm a criminal.
This was one of my favorite memes.
Mama, I'm a criminal.
The story of... Okay, let me switch that.
Mama, I'm a criminal.
Okay. Alrighty, let's search that up. Let's do the story of Dobson? Nice. I'm gonna make sure I'm spelling it right. Dobson. I'll just search it. Oh, I've gotten recommended this video. I haven't watched it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should watch this video? Are we all in agreement? We want to watch this video about Dobson. Do we want to watch this video, y'all? Are we all in agreement? My empire. Everyone in agreement, chat? Chat, are we gonna lock in? Are we gonna lock in this video right now? Chat's not speaking to me. I've been dead. Dead chat. Okay, we're gonna watch it. It's my stream. I do whatever I want. We're watching this.
In the earliest days of the internet, webcomics were one of the most popular forms of entertainment. Since in the early 2000s, dial-up internet was still the standard, and loading a video could take 5 weeks, webcomics were a very easy way to gain a following online, since it just needed to be an image that loaded up. Back in the
Webcomics. I don't know much about webcomics, actually. I don't read them that much. That's all I have to say.
2000s, webcomics were incredibly popular. Be it Penny Arcade, Control-Alt-Delete, or whatever floats your boat. They made a name for themselves.
I have my
The
earphones
quality
in,
of
and I
those
just got
webcomics
earaches.
nowadays can definitely be put into question. You'll get your day in the spotlight someday, Buckley. But right now, we're going to put our focus on one very specific webcomic creator, and possibly the biggest downfall of a webcomic creator on the internet.
Excuse me, that root beer is really hitting me in the gut.
This is Tom Preston, also known as Andrew Dobson. Dobson made a very popular webcomic in the early 2010s.
I've never
and
heard of
probably
him, by
holds
the
the
way.
record for peaking too early in his career and for being the biggest punching bag of a webcomic artist ever. And today, we're going to talk about why this is. This is the story of Dobson.
I don't think this bubble can get much bigger.
Nonsense!
What? I was like, what's that filter? What is this filter? Is this my... Is that my doing, or is the video meant to be that filter? Weird. Yeah. Okay, no, it's just the video. Yeah.
Dobson
I was like, what is that
mostly unknown in the
filter?
early 2000s. Well, that's what he would have you believe anyway. That's a story for much later. Andrew would remain on the down low on the internet through most of the 2000s, drawing art, which is heavily inspired by 90s anime and Nintendo games. The anime influence in his
Nice.
artwork is very blatant. You can tell he was one of the original weebs of the 90s. And now that I'm mentioning it, I'm going to have to bring this up. Dobson's story is very similar to another person I've already covered. Movie Bob. The two are
Movie
incredibly
Bob! Movie Bob is like the Harmon Smith, but if Harmon Smith was a leftist. Movie Bob is basically leftist Harmon Smith. Except Movie Bob has actually, like, I don't know. No, he does still make content. But he's really, he's a character, but yeah. I do recommend watching this video right here, the story of Movie Bob. It's very funny.
similar in many ways. Both were born in the 80s, they're now in their 40s,
Yeah.
both are obsessed with Nintendo, both have a very similar political leaning,
Huh.
both are very feminist. You could look at them from far away and mistake them for the same person. But they
It's Movie Bob 2.0, but anime. Anime Movie Bob. That is cursed.
went on completely separate paths. Movie Bob went on to become a movie critic, and Dobson went on to make webcomics. Their upbringing was also incredibly similar. They were both outcasts and were bullied for their obsession with Nintendo and geek stuff, but Dobson's bullying was apparently so bad he had to move states, specifically Minnesota, where he then attended the Minneapolis College of Art and Design in the early 2000s. Now, this is a very prestigious college to go to. It costs quite a penny to go here, so Dobson was very privileged to be able to attend this college, but he only viewed them in a negative light. He basically admitted he dropped everything they taught him in order to go back to his idea of how art should be, which tells me they probably criticized his art, which is a college, they're going to do that, that's their job, and he didn't take too kindly to that.
Bro, people that can't handle criticism are some of the most annoying people. Like, straight up. Like, these people that can't handle criticism, and then, like, they, like, double down on, like, their decision. Like, this guy, obviously, he can't handle criticism. So, like, someone criticizes your art. Not even, like, harsh criticism. I'm talking, like, I'm not even talking, like, bullying, right? I'm talking, like, oh, yeah, I think you need to work on this. Like, I think, like, what will make your video better would be if you, like, someone told me in a recent video that I did, I think it was the Bethesda one, like, oh, you kind of talk too slow. And so, and now I try to talk faster in my videos. But Excuse me. This root beer is really kicking in here, but I cannot, like, stand these people. These people that, like, you, like, criticize them, but, like, constructive criticize, right? Not bully. You constructively criticize them, and then they, like, freak out. And, like, they treat it as, like, you, like, bully them to no extent. They act like you bullied them or something. Like, no, you just said, oh, I think it would be better if you
Major
did this.
foreshadowing. Also, since he's balding in his 20s, God, I hate seeing myself in these people. He wore a stupid fedora every day to class,
Oh, no.
and it got him the nickname Hat Andy, which sounds like a
Oh my gosh. Nowadays he'd be called Redditor Mod. Man, kids aren't as harsh as they... man, kids back then weren't as harsh as they
car
are
side
now.
character.
I am a man!
After graduating from college, Dobson would mostly post art and comics on his DeviantArt, a lot of which are, like I said, based off of his favorite properties he grew up with, notably 90s anime and Nintendo. Oh boy, does he love himself some Nintendo. He's not Movie Bob levels of obsessed with them, but he's close. He would express his fanboyism for Nintendo in one of his older comics called Danny and Spot. Danny's too focused on the AAA next-gen high-budget games on the PS3 and 360, but Spot is here to show him games on the Wii are way better because they're fun!
Oh my gosh. No. No, he's just Harmon Smith. He's literally just Harmon Smith again. He's like refuting arguments like, oh, people that play on better consoles or PC, all they care about is specs. Well, Nintendo games are all fun. Haha, they're, lol XD emoji. Like, oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Like,
Look at these guys playing games the boring way. But look at that. They're having fun on the Wii, flailing around like they have Parkinson's. Now, that's fun. That's what gaming is all about.
except, let me replace it with the Switch, okay? Look at these guys playing their boring games on, look at these guys playing at, like, 60, 120 FPS on their stupid consoles and their Xboxes and PS5s and PCs and what have you. But not like me. I'm busy getting scoliosis and my fingers numb on my Nintendo Switch. I look like an iPad kid when I play it, but like with a freaking controller on the side. Like, buddy, this... boy.
Those adult games are too serious and boring.
Oh, yeah.
The Wii's just like the wheel on the round earth. It's not a fad.
It's not a fad, guys. Guys, imagine liking games that are realistic. Like, no, games are fun when they're cartoons and can actually run on the Nintendo Switch, guys. Buddy. What in the world? What am I watching?
So I'm not sure this off just to expose Dobson's fanboyism. It's also the prototype format for a vast chunk of his work in the future. This person is stupid, but this person is a smart and informed one who aligns with Dobson's own views. This is
Yeah. Okay, I've seen this a lot in, like, political memes as well, where it's like, the meme isn't even funny, it's just like, look at this, the guy I don't agree with is dumb. Look how dumb he is, guys. It's not even, like, funny, it's like I've literally seen a meme where it's like, oh, someone, I'm not gonna say which political side it was, but someone kicks Chad guy hits some guy that's on the opposite political spectrum, and then that guy goes, why did you hit me? And then Chad guy literally lists off, like, a whole paragraph of why he hit that guy. And it's just like, how is that funny? Who finds that funny? That's not funny. Like, memes are meant to be funny because they're relatable, right? Memes are funny because they're relatable. Because, like, oh yeah, I can relate to that because, whatever, right? But, like, memes like that aren't relatable. They're not funny, they're not relatable. It's just like, I got butt hurt by interpolitical person here, so now I gotta look like the Giga Chad. I'm the Giga Chad that hit that guy, and I explained to him why I hit him. Am I look how based I am. Yeah. But I mean, okay, I'm not gonna answer that. I'm not gonna get into that. But this is like the same thing. This is the same thing. It's literally just a political meme, but like for console wars. It's like, look how miserable that guy is playing on the Xbox. Well, look at me. I'm playing on the Wii. I'm having such a great time. It's just there to spread. It's literally propaganda. Like, I think those political memes are propaganda. And this is literal propaganda. Yeah, it's a straw man. It's literal propaganda, right?
What many have dubbed a strawman comic.
Yeah, straw man comic. There it is, right? Like, yeah. Let's read this. You hate anime and manga just because it's popular. Admit it. Well, not actually, but that's so shallow and superficial. Justin Bieber. Ah, I hate him so much. Derp. I hate him because he's popular.
The person who they don't agree with has their arguments boiled down to the point it's easy to debunk in a few comic panels. Also, they're
That's
ugly,
funny.
fat, angry, or just stupid.
Yeah.
Dobson...
Ugly, fat, angry, and just stupid. That's literally Harmon Smith. I don't like bullying. I don't. But some people just need to be bullied. I condone bullying. Okay, listen here. Don't get it twisted. But I condone bullying if they need to be bullied, right? Some people didn't get bullied enough, and so they grow up to be Harmon Smith and grow up to be idiots, right? Now, don't get it twisted. I don't condone bullying of everybody, right? I don't condone you going around like, oh, someone had a opinion I don't agree with. I guess I'll go bully him now. No, I mean like, if like someone who's legitimately an idiot that doesn't know what they're talking about, spreading misinformation, and is just, being a dummy, bully them. They deserve to be bullied and made fun of. Okay. Like, again, I don't condone bullying, but there are just some people that need to be bullied. That didn't get bullied enough or are just, just losers.
Loves this format, as he would use it for years, especially in 2010 when a little game called Metroid Other M came out. Everyone who knows about Metroid Other M knows. It is a very controversial game and considered one of the worst Metroid games. And Dobson defended this game
I'm
with his...
shocked Harmon didn't put Other M on his... Like, he could have put Other M, Federation Force, whoops, I hit a button. Federation Force, Metroid, there's another one. Maybe even Metroid Prime Hunters. I love Metroid Prime Hunters. But instead he puts Samus Returns, okay?
dying breath. He considered it the best Metroid game,
Stop
and
the
considered
cat.
Metroid Prime one of the most loved Metroid games to be the worst one.
What?
An act of true contrarianism.
Yeah. This just like, okay, he can have an opinion, right? But sometimes you gotta know when you're not in the popular opinion, right? And also, I feel this guy rubs me as a guy that would hate a game because it's popular. And like a game because it's not popular, right? I think he hates Metroid Prime because it's popular. Like, that's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. It's not because it's bad or he thinks it's bad. It's because it's popular, right? And that is cringe, right? Like, there's a difference between liking a bad game and then hating a game because it's popular. And because people are like, that's the gold standard, right? People point to Metroid Prime like, that's the gold standard of 3D Metroid. And then he gets butthurt because a game he likes isn't popular. Oh, boo-hoo. So sad for him, right? Like, we all like stuff that isn't popular. Jump on the train, bro. Woo-woo! Get on the caboose, baby. Like, everyone has stuff they don't like, right? Or they like stuff that is not popular. Everyone has that one thing that they like. Like, don't even try to deny it. You like something that's not popular. Don't even straw man me right now, right? But then there's people like this. There's two types of people that handle this situation, right? There's people that like, instead of just being like, oh yeah, I like Other M, but it's fine if you don't like it, right? I see where you're coming from, right? There's those people. And then there's people like this who have to constantly like justify themselves, right? Make themselves feel better by posting stuff like, you know what? Metroid Prime is the worst, actually. Other M is far superior to Metroid Prime, right? Because they have low self-esteem and they need to make themselves feel better about their opinions because there's no one else likes that game, right? Or not very many people like that game. Like, okay guys, if you guys tell me like, oh, I like Other M, I'm not gonna like be like, wow, you're such a loser. How could you like that game, right? I mean, I might be weirded out, okay? But I'm not gonna start pointing and laughing and just saying, oh, you're such a loser for liking Other M. But like, if you like Other M, for example, do not go to me and say, Other M is the gold standard. Metroid Prime is so overrated. It's so trash, right? Then you're using this as an attempt to build yourself up. You're just that pathetic. You need to like make yourself feel better about your
constantly get into arguments online about it, even years after its release. So Dobson, very early on, was already very combative and argumentative with people he didn't agree with. I just want you to imagine what it would be like with something that actually mattered. There was no moment of peace or him starting off calm and mild-mannered. From the very early days he was on the web, he was already stirring the pot with other people. Even in his DeviantArt blog posts, there was constant complaining and arguments. In 2006, he made this blog post where he detailed he was hooked up with a Jewish girlfriend and then had Hanukkah with her and her family, where he was miserable because it was a lot more boring compared to Christmas.
I hope he told his girlfriend that. That would have been hilarious. I want to see what she said. Imagine walking up to a Jewish person and you're just like, yeah, like, can I leave? And she's like, why? Because this is kind of boring, because it's not as fun as Christmas. It's not as fun as Christmas. Like, I mean, this is fine and all, but there's no Christmas, am I right? Like, why don't you guys put presents around the Quran? Or not the Quran, I'm such an idiot. Around, frick, I forgot the name. Around the thing, wow, I'm such an idiot, sorry guys. Around the thing with the candles on it, right? I'm so ignorant, I'm sorry. Why don't you guys put presents under those? This is so boring. Oh boy. That's yeah.
He started drawing an art piece to express how miserable he was, and then his girlfriend saw the picture he drew and naturally took offense to it.
Imagine he did it worse than I said. Like, I'd rather if something's boring to you, I'd rather you tell me that it's boring than you draw a picture of how bored you are. Like, I wonder what he drew.
Something that mattered a lot to her and made it about himself.
Yeah.
You could probably guess how the...
Oh, yeah. That's also something I don't like about some people like this. When they take something that's like, you know, like a tradition or there's something that you're having fun with, and then they make it about themselves. Like, just any situation. It's like they go in and then they make it about themselves, right? Like, though thankfully I haven't run into any of these people, but I bet if I did, I would be mad. I bet if someone like made fun of something I was like, you know, that was important to me, I'd be mad.
After that. So this would continue on for a few years. He would make little tiny comics and art pieces on a DeviantArt,
his art is pretty nice, though. I mean, I will give him that. It's pretty nice.
He would make animations and demo reels on YouTube to show off his animation skills.
Hey, paisano!
Oh my god. Mario, Luigi, Princess, Toad!
Who did you expect? Pee Wee Herman?
Honestly, this is kind of impressive.
One day, he created this little comic he dubbed the Potato Comic.
The Potato Comic. Okay.
A basic little comic where Dobson makes himself dinner with a single potato and then proceeds to make a pop culture reference. This one comic would inspire Dobson to truly start his career.
Why did it go super fast? Didn't. It's supposed to be on normal. Weird.
A career for the ages.
You found me!
Of course! You stick out like a big sore pink thumb!
Less talky, more wishy! I wish the whole world was back to the way it's supposed to be!
Frustration. Okay.
In January of 2011, Dobson would create his most popular comic, So You're a Cartoonist. This was a webcomic dedicated to Dobson showing off his struggles as an online cartoonist, detailing his early life and upbringing in a very comedic and exaggerated fashion. And it was a surprise hit! A lot of artists were able to relate and laugh at all the crap Dobson went through to get where he was now. Around the same time making this, he also collaborated with internet musician Brent Floss to make a comic series for him. So Dobson is finally getting recognition after all these years. But as anyone should know, fame is a package deal. When you get a ton of people looking up to you and enjoying your work, you also get a lot of people who think you could do better. And here...
Oh no! Not the critics! God forbid someone tell me that my videos aren't perfection! My comics aren't perfection! God forbid someone tell me I'm not good enough. God forbid someone tell me that I can do better. Someone, God forbid, someone tell me that something can be fixed and that I'm not perfect. Because I am perfect. I am the perfect human being. I only make good content.
Comes the most well-known fact about Dobson. Andrew Dobson cannot take criticism.
I kind of already got that.
I want to make one thing very clear here. I am not an artist. I am not an art critic. I can't really judge how good or bad Dobson's art is because I have very little...
Well, you see here, I'm something of an art critic myself. So, I think I can... I think I can see how the art really... I can see how it pops out and really relates to me. I'm joking, but I think I can kind of see
low standards to consider something good. I mean, look, my art skills are basically Chris Chan monkey scratchings. I cannot draw worth a damn. So anything that could potentially be wrong with Dobson's art, I won't be able to notice. But I know some people who do draw are probably pulling their hair out just seeing some...
Oh my. Her hand is... Or Luigi's hand, I thought it was her. Luigi's hand isn't on her cheek, bro. And, okay, well oh boy. I mean, I'm not really an art critic, and also... Whoops. Didn't mean to go full screen. We can go full screen, why not? But, like, I'm not, like, really an art critic. Like, I joked about me being an art critic, but, like... I mean... Okay.
work. Dobson gets a lot of flack and criticism for his art skills. The ordinary online artist is always looking to improve their work. They will always want to evolve and grow in their hobby. That's why they always ask for critiques and ways they can improve.
Yeah.
That's a big part of...
That's me too, right, guys? Like, here's... I mean, we've been joking around, right? We've been having some fun, you know. But... I think that... I would love criticism, right? I don't want to, like, make the same mistakes over and over again, right? Because I don't grow that way. I would like you guys to tell me when I'm doing something wrong. Because it helps me grow as a YouTuber. And just as a person, you know, an art creator, etc. So, yeah. It does me favors, right? Don't be afraid to criticize me. Or anyone, really. Well, it depends on who you criticize, because, you know, they may get mad, but, like, because obviously, when you criticize me, that shows me that you were interested, but you did have an issue. Like, you're interested in the video, you're interested in the topic, but you had, like, an issue of how I, put out the thing, right? And if it's a ridiculous criticism, though, that's, like, minor and, like, doesn't matter. I may be like, okay, what are you smoking? But like, if it's like seriously though, please criticize me.
Art culture.
I am happy for you to criticize me.
Andrew Dobson is not the ordinary online artist.
No, of course not.
If you're an artist and you get a comment that says something like, "This art piece sucks and so do you," that's just a throwaway comment that helps no one in any way.
Exactly.
Comments that are saying stuff like, "You could do some more shading here, or fix this up, or change this to
that's
make
good.
it better," that's a suggestion on how to improve. To Andrew Dobson, these two comments are the exact same. You cannot criticize Dobson's work in any way. It does not matter how nice you are or how good your intentions are. If you criticize his art, he will argue with you, he will mock you, and he will block you. In the comment section of his art pieces, you can find long strings of him arguing with people over his art. All the time. He will make people criticizing his art the punchline in some of his comics, where they're a dumb poo-poo head and he's the smart one. He never tries actually debunking their criticisms. He usually just goes, "I don't care," and they're just mad. Because...
Oh yeah, that's a great way to let people, that's a great way to grow, your space online. Yeah, when people say, "Hey, you can do this better," you're just a hater. You don't care. You just like hating on people's work. Oh man, I love these people. I don't know what's going through their heads. Like, I get okay, any type of criticism, whether it's constructive or not, it still kind of sucks, right? It's like, oh, I worked hard on this, but this wasn't up to, code. I'm a little upset. But then like you move past that and you change that, right? That's what I do. I improve when someone, like, I have to swallow my pride and improve on what I did, right?
Dobson's absolute rejection of any criticism whatsoever. A result of this is his art has remained stagnant since the early 2000s.
Exactly. That's what happens when you don't take criticism. You're going to stay stagnant. And if you are bad at what you do, you're not going to get followers. You're not going to get more people to watch your stuff, right? And if you're going to be a jerk about it, no one's going to want to watch your stuff because you're being a jerk off, right?
Love when their art improves over the years. Yeah. When your style develops. I'm not even an art person, and even I can tell there is very little development in Dobson's art. It's the same 90s manga and anime styled stuff it's always been, because he refuses to take any suggestions to change it or stylize it. He's also very self-aware about his art and his career not developing. He has multiple comics talking about how pathetic he is. But you're doing this to yourself. There's no point in being self-aware if you aren't going to do anything about it. Oh, and that whole 90s anime inspiration is another thing to put up on Dobson's wall of shame. The man has a hate boner for any anime airing past 1999, but loves the stuff he grew up with and will only take cues from that.
Oh, okay. This is another type of person I don't like. Dobson is like, so far he's being the antithesis of people I do not like, or I cannot stand. People who are like, oh, this was good, like, but anything after that was bad, right? Like, they can't, like, open their mind, right, and see things for, like, look at stuff in a broader light, right? I'm not a big fan of anime in general, and I watched a handful of anime, like, a little bit, right? I just didn't vibe with it, right? It's not my thing. But I'm not saying, oh, yeah, I don't like anime, but I do like this anime. That's like me saying, oh, I don't like, I like, Dragon Ball, but everything else sucks, right? Yeah. Okay, that's gonna be... I can't wait for that, but, yeah, anime is... Yeah, it's a whole different thing I don't really care about, but what I will talk about is, like, people who, like... gatekeep people because, well, this isn't necessarily Dawson, but this is people like sectors of fandoms who will gatekeep people because they liked something that they don't like. For example, like, I'm thinking of, like, my first thing that comes to mind is Fallout, like the Fallout fan base, right? The Fallout fan base, like, if you dare say, like, the hardcore fans, if you dare say you like Fallout 3, Like, do not tell them that you like Fallout 3 because you will never talk to them ever again. You would swear that you said some heinous crap, bro. And they will tear you to shreds, right? And it's something like that. I do not like these people. These people are so cringe. Like, whether or not Fallout 3 is good is up for opinion, right?
One time, he tried stylizing Steven Universe characters in the style of one of his favorite 90s Japanese artists.
Okay. Oh!
It did not turn out well.
It's uglier than actual Steven Universe. Steven Universe is ugly, but holy... I mean, even sometimes Steven Universe has great art, but it's not very often, but good gosh, this is ugly.
Part of his seething hatred for more adult-oriented anime blowing up in popularity in the early 2000s is because he thinks it actually had a negative impact on his life. Okay, so I just want you to just try and wrap your head around this. Dobson's dream since childhood was to be an animator at Disney. He would write and read about it, while his family said it was a bad idea. That's why he went to college. Then, in 2002, a movie called Treasure Planet came out. I just want to say, Treasure Planet is my favorite Disney movie. That movie is a damn classic. It has soul. Dobson, however, thinks differently of it. He thinks the movie was inspired by the more adult anime around the time. It tried to be much more mature than the typical Disney film, but the movie bombed at the box office. And because it bombed, Disney fired a ton of animators, and this was when they started pushing more into CGI because of it failing. So now, his dream of working at Disney was now shot because Treasure Planet bombed, which he thinks was inspired by anime, so therefore anime ruined his career and therefore his life.
So he's saying that because anime was getting more mature, and okay, so he thinks anime inspired the hold on, my brain is hurting. So he's saying that because anime was getting mature around the time, he thinks Treasure Island was inspired by anime, or Treasure Planet, whatever, it was inspired by the mature anime that was airing at the time. And since Treasure Island bombed, and now he can't animate for Disney anymore, he thinks that that's anime is the reason why he doesn't have a job at Disney right now. Oh boy, that's next level derangement syndrome right there. That is hilarious. That is so deranged. That's like that. The reach is so crazy that I don't think even Elastic Man can reach that, right? So anime is the reason why Disney doesn't do animation anymore, or it could be the fact that at the time animation was dying out, right? People wanted CGI stuff, right? Because Toy Story came out around that time and it made bank. And then, wasn't DreamWorks making stuff too at that time? Not DreamWorks. No, it was DreamWorks. Yeah, it was DreamWorks, my bad. DreamWorks was making stuff, Pixar was making stuff, and Disney saw that and was like, they're making bank off this CGI stuff, and our movie bombs, so that must mean that people want to see CGI stuff. That's what happened. It wasn't because Treasure Island was bad. It was because it came out at a time where animation was dying, right? The medium in theaters was dying, which kind of sucks because I love animation, right? I love 2D animation. But no, it's anime's fault. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's crazy. So basically this guy is saying that because he thinks that anime, to catch you up, this guy Dobson, he thinks that anime is the reason why Disney got rid of animation. He's always wanted to work at Disney for animation, and he thinks anime is the reason why, is the reason why Disney stopped making animation, basically. Like, anime was what killed Disney animation. That makes sense. So now he hates all anime past the 90s.
Got that? I know it seems like we're just jumping around all over the place, but that's really the best way to look at Dobson. It's not really a straightforward story, it's more like an anthology of events that come together and really explain why things are the way they are with him.
See if I can make
Of
the
course,
quality
being a
better.
controversial artist, you can't not have a tracing scandal. Take a look at this art piece of Dobson in a lot of British media, and tell me what looks out of place here. If it wasn't plainly obvious, that Big Bang back there is blatantly traced. And even worse, since he planned on selling this at a convention. People were very quick to notice and called Dobson out for this.
Oh yeah, that's like one of the worst things you could do as an artist is trace, right? Everyone knows that. Even non-artists like myself, I'm not an artist, but tracing is like the worst thing anyone can do. So if you're gonna be an artist, don't trace.
Which Dobson didn't take too well.
And also, this guy, by the way, this guy doesn't take criticism well. For all the new people coming in, this guy Dobson doesn't take criticism. So yeah.
Didn't stick with your original drawing of Big Ben, which is absolutely fine and was stylized to the rest of the picture. You didn't also do this for the TARDIS, which I could probably bring up, but the point is that it's pretty easy to focus on Big Ben because it sticks out like a sore thumb.
This also isn't the only time Dobson has done something illegal when it comes to selling art. He also attempted to sell art with a ton of licensed characters he didn't own.
Oh,
and was
yeah,
called out
that's
for this
very
as well.
illegal.
And of course, he made a comic in response, because of course he would. And finally, we have to talk about the Metroid Commission.
Oh, no.
Not only does he have horrific taste in the Metroid series, but when it came to
Oh, you
actually
watched
drawing
this
said
video?
series, it was just as bad.
Yeah, this video is funny so far. This guy is unhinged. Yeah.
In 2014, someone commissioned Dobson to draw a picture of Samus breaking out of her power armor
Oh, that's
while
cool.
fighting Ridley. Dobson asked for $45 up front for it, and he would send in progress of the picture, which of course the customer asked for touch-ups. This would continue on for a few weeks, until the pic was finally done. 4 months later, it took him
Holy.
4 months to finish this picture, which is of average quality and not asking for
4 months for this? $4 months for that? Like, I'm not an artist, okay? I'm not even gonna claim to be an artist. I love art. I love looking at art. I'm not even really an art critic, but I love looking at art. Okay? But 4 months for something. You were. Well, how much was he paid again? Hold on. Okay. $45. He was paid $45 for this, which it's covered right now. Hold on. He was paid $45 for this. Yikes.
later. It took him 4 months to finish this picture,
Yikes.
which is of average quality and not asking for anything big.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, the Ridley in the background is traced.
Oh, of course
It
it's
was
traced.
later revealed that the thing was actually set up by 4chaners, who wanted to see what would happen if they commissioned him. After he found this out,
course.
he was, in his own words, traumatized.
Traumatized.
He refused to do any
A bunch of 4chaners paid me to do average artwork that I took 4 months, and now I'm traumatized. Like, how is that traumatizing? You got paid to do basic work, like, you know, something that doesn't even look like 4 months quality, right? How is that traumatizing? I've seen people draw better art in 5 minutes. But how is that traumatizing? You got paid. Like, you got paid to draw something, and then it's revealed that, oh, you were being trolled the whole time. If that happened to me, I would say, okay, I got paid at the end of the day, so, like, who's laughing now? Like, who's the real one? Who's the real winner in this scenario? But of course, he's gonna, like, what I've seen with this person, he's gonna make himself look like an idiot and prove the trolls right. He's gonna give the trolls what they want, obviously, because he's an idiot.
commissions for at least 2 years, but he didn't know about this until after the fact. You can look online and see what took so much of Dobson's free time.
What took
Arguing
so much?
with people.
Oh, of course.
We have only scratched the surface, so buckle up.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to delve even deeper into Dobson's dark spiral.
Let's see this. Ooh. That's a funny trailer.
Now, like I've said before, Dobson and Movie Bob have a lot of similarities.
Oh my gosh, fine. I know this person in real life, or not real life, but I do know this person, so I can yell at them. Fine, I'll raise up the quality to 1080p. There, are you happy now?
This also includes their politics and their moral beliefs.
Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna say something here. I'm not a political channel, obviously. I try to refrain from politics, but let's just laugh at this. Okay, I'm gonna put my morals aside. That just goes to show how strong of morals I have. I have such strong morals that I'm willing to put them aside to make fun of this guy.
Which are damn near identical. No, Dobson isn't nearly as extreme as Movie Bob was. He doesn't wish for eugenics or some way of wiping out people who disagree with him. But basically, if I were to go over everything, it'd be just a Diet Coke version of Movie Bob, so I'll keep it brief. Dobson is very heavy left-leaning, he's very feminist, and fights for groups that are marginalized. He talked a lot about Goo Brigade and
oh no, not Goober yet.
a bunch of other things for that matter. He hates any sort of objectification of women and sexism in any industry, and has made
No pretty women in video games! No! That's a sin! We can't have pretty women in video games. Gosh. Of all the bad things video games have done, right? Right, video games have caused school shootings and 9/11 and all that, right? Video games are the reason why I got a divorce. Video games are the reason why my mom has cancer and my dad jumped off a bridge. Video games are the reason why my brother doesn't talk to me and he shot himself as well, right? Video games, especially them mature video games. Video games ruined my life. Oh my. God forbid the women in our video games actually look like women and not abominations.
Made a ton of comics about it. You've probably seen this same song and dance 1,000 times already. Most notably, he's a big ally of the LGBTQ community, especially in the Western animation scene. And by that I mean you take off the G's, the B's, the T's, and everything else, and you're left with what most of his career consists of.
Okay, that's funny.
Nothing but L's. It's no secret, Dobson had a huge bias towards lesbian couples.
Oh, we know why. Well, YouTube let me... I'm not monetized. I'll say whatever the heck I want. We know why Dobson likes them lesbians. I think we all know why. I don't even have to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not...
would draw them and nothing but them constantly. You can probably count on one hand all the male gay couples he's drawn, but the ladies get all the love. You could start a seafood restaurant with all the damn clam slamming going on in Dobson's art galleries. And I'm not saying that to be offensive. I'm saying that because this is the most thinly veiled representation I've ever seen. It's pretty obvious what's actually going on here. Dobson...
Oh, sexy women in video games is bad, but when I draw them in a lesbian relationship, it's okay. That makes sense. Morals, ladies and gentlemen.
Is more than likely getting his jollies from drawing this.
Oh,
and
yeah,
some might
yeah,
be thinking,
see.
well, Mush, you're just being judgmental. There's nothing inherently wrong with a grown man in his 30s drawing cartoon lesbians being cute and mushy. And, well, maybe you're right, but I have a counterpoint. We have to go back to Dobson's old DeviantArt gallery.
We all know.
Around 2009, Dobson created a comic series called Alex the Pirate, a little comic about a ragtag team of pirates going on wacky pirate adventures.
Nice.
There's a bunch of anime tropes tossed in here. You got the oblivious to love boy, the pervert grandpa, but then you got the Dobson touch. A lesbian pirate. The dynamic here is, the main character, Alex, definitely not Captain Syrup from Wario Land, has the hots for the boy pirate whose name is Sam. Seems the top surgeon went well. Then there's the lesbian pirate named Atia, who has the hots for Alex. And then there's Sam, who only cares about treasure.
Oh,
it
nice.
mainly focuses on Alex and Atia and their wacky shenanigans of love, in quotation.
Guys, objectifying women is bad. Don't look at that. No, don't look at this. No. This isn't real. I didn't draw this. What? I didn't draw this. This isn't me.
Very progressive for the time. Progressive in the terms that Dobson's other hand was progressively going down below while drawing these, because this is 100% fuel for him. Earlier on in the comic's life, everything was very tame. There was even a whole gag with Alex being incredibly androgynous, so people thought she was a boy. But as it went on, the androgynous look was completely dropped for something more voluptuous, and then the antics with her and Atia started being a bigger focus, with Alex getting groped, constantly taking baths, and always finding ways for them to take their clothes off with each other. Yeah, this
I'm glad I paused on this, but, I'm sensing, a little bit something strange here.
This man is clearly drawing this for his own personal needs. You really expect me to believe, in his refusal to change after all these years, he's changed in that regard? Nah, ain't happening. This comic is for him, and so is him drawing all those couples. It was also a pioneer in creating girl boss characters, while they flat out say they're better than men in one comic.
Oh, nice.
Man, someone get this man a...
Oh, yeah. I know I keep pausing the video and saying, oh yeah, another thing about someone I don't like. But this guy is literally the representation of a bunch of people that I don't like. He's literally a giant person that I don't like. He also... okay, I'm not even going to get into this. Like I said, I do have my morals. But, I mean, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
A dummy mommy.
I'm just going to say, if you have to say you're better, or if you have to, like, make someone, or, like... If you say something is better than something else, if you have to say it, then, like for example, saying, "Oh, I'm so funny, and I'm so powerful," right? If you're saying that, then you're not funny. You're not powerful. I'm just gonna say that.
A dobby mommy, if you will. There's also this comic where he coined the term lesbian kick. I think he actually tried to make this a meme or something. He really thought it would catch on.
Wow.
He made shirts of it. You know, Dobson,
Lesbian
if
kick.
you really want
That's
to draw
the
naked
greatest
ladies
thing
in a
I've ever
mediocre
heard.
90s anime art style, you could have just started an NSFW account. I've seen worse artists get a following. You want to get off and get clout at the same time, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, nice.
Anytime...
This reminds me of a recent situation that we've had with a recent YouTuber beatboxer guy who paid a certain $5,000 or $50,000 for some interesting music video. This is what it reminds me of, except somehow not as petty.
he made a new art piece for a new show with gay women in it, people would automatically...
Funny how it's always the people that criticize guys doing stuff in an extreme degree, and usually the ones that get idea for doing things. They said, yeah, definitely. Yeah, this guy is definitely, he's the personification of rules of three, but not for me. Like, I can do this, but you can't. Why? Because gay. Makes sense.
Please assume it was him thirsty again, which it probably was. Anytime someone would ask him, why don't you draw something other than lesbians, he usually points to one of like 3 pictures he's drawn of others, and that's about it. Of course people are going to find it weird when a man in his mid-30s who has drawn comics about women taking their clothes off all the time starts exclusively drawing lesbians. Of course people are going to take it the wrong way.
Yeah, it sounds weird. When you say it like that, it does sound weird, because that's exactly what's going on. Again, it reminds me of that beatboxer YouTuber. I can't remember his name. Like Verbalax or something like that. Reminds me of him a lot, except like, in fairness to Dobson, at least he didn't pay 50 grand for this. At least he's drawing it himself.
You can bet Dobson would argue about this as well. Oh boy, when his popularity got boosted, so did the level of arguing. He was arguing with more people than ever before. Not just for art critiques, but also for him constantly sipping over lesbians, his constant bad takes on things, and the absolute ridiculous claims he held. If you didn't like something that was diverse or had a woman in the starring role, you just hated women.
Okay.
Can't be for anything else.
Well, I guess I hate women because I don't like Captain Marvel, like her movies. I don't like the new Star Wars movies. Maybe because the plot is bad and the characters are bad and it ruins Star Wars, etc. No. It's because I hate women. No, it's not because other problems. It's because, I don't like Brie Larson as a person. She seems very harsh. But I do think that Daisy Ridley, the person who plays Rey, is actually... Yeah, at least the beatboxer never criticized people. Yeah, that's true. Okay. He rounded it out, right? He actually did kind of take responsibility, so it's fine. Anyways, but... At least, I think Daisy Ridley's a nice person. She seems like a nice person. She even vouched for Star Wars fans. When these websites were saying that hardcore Star Wars fans were racist, or not racist, well, they were saying that, but they were saying they were sexist, etc., for not liking Disney Star Wars. And Daisy actually said, no, it's not the hardcore Star Wars fans' fault. They're not racist, sexist, etc. And so I thought that was cool. She's pretty cool, I think. Right? All things considered, right? Yeah, she may... that just goes to show that it's not the actor's fault for playing a bad character. It's the writing, it's the directing. Never blame... Okay, I'm going to say this. Unless the actor had something to do with it, never blame an actor for a direct... It's like, never blame the student for the failure of a master, right? It always goes on the failure of the master. Also, this comic is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. No, Captain Marvel couldn't even handle the power. I'm gonna get geeky on y'all. Get ready for this. Captain Marvel couldn't even handle the power of the Power Stone. Right? Do you really think she's gonna stop herself from fading away? Yeah, right.
Did this with Star Wars.
Who faded away that was super powerful? Literally a half god. Someone who's literally half celestial. He faded away. Who else did? It was... Well, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not really that powerful. Let me think. Who else faded away that was super powerful? All the Guardians of the Galaxy basically faded away. And I would argue that, they could be, they're not that powerful. Except Groot. Yeah, he paid $50K. It was hilarious. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, there wasn't really many powerful superheroes that faded away. Because I'm trying to think that we know of. Yeah, there's not very many that we know of that faded away. No, Wanda! Wanda faded away. I think she's more powerful than Captain Marvel. Yeah, no, don't at me here, but I think Wanda, or at least she could go toe-to-toe with Captain Marvel. In my opinion. But, yeah. So, I mean, if Wanda, who can bend reality, right? Wanda can literally bend reality. If she can't survive the Infinity Stones, who the heck is Captain Marvel, right?
Star Wars and Marvel, but because of course he did. He's checking off all those boxes.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You didn't like something he did, you were some istrophobe.
Of course he likes The Last Jedi. Let me read this. Something I've noticed is that people who dislike The Last Jedi are the same people upset that, this word that I'm not going to say, bad people from World War II, authoritarian analogs aren't presented as bad people, or good, well, awesome people. The way the Empire was in the original trilogy, no one is saying that. And also, no one, like, the Empire, you're comparing a fictional group of bad guys to literal, real world people, right? Like, anyone who says, like, I won't look at someone who says, oh yeah, Darth Vader's awesome. I'm not gonna look at them and be like, oh yeah, you're definitely a bad person. You definitely want bad people from World War II to be the good guys in video games or something, right? You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, that's completely intentional. You're not supposed to root for the bad guys. No, but, I mean, you still want a cool bad guy, right? Like, use your head. You're not supposed to, right? Like, no one is looking at the Joker and they're like, yeah, can these people learn how to separate fiction from reality? Exactly. Like, we're not looking at the Joker and then like, wow, I want to be like the Joker, right? No one's saying that, but we still want him to be cool. We want him to be a cool bad guy because we want our cool hero to fight an equally cool bad guy. Like, that's why people, like, when Darth Vader, like, isn't cool. Like, every media Darth Vader has been in has been cool. A, because it's Darth Vader. Like, and B, like, just make him be evil, and that's just making him cool, right? Even in, like, what's considered the worst shows that Darth Vader has appeared in, like, for example, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. He was really cool in that show. Say what you will about the show, but he was really cool. But, yeah, like, we want our heroes to fight a cool bad guy. And we like it when our bad guys are cool. Not in real life. When in real life, like, I'm not... I don't think I need to tell you why we don't think our real life bad guys are cool. I don't think I need to explain why that's not something we do. And the fact that these, shriveling whelps are dressed up and essentially cosplaying as the Empire and believing that means a lot of people should respect them is an intentional critique on the real life alt-right Nazi I said the bad word. YouTube, don't ban my channel, please. Alt-right bad guy movement of today. Oh, yes. That's hilarious. He's like your stereotypical, like, neo-leftist. He's like your stereotypical neo-leftist who calls anyone that they don't agree with a bad guy from World War II, alt-right person, right? Fascist, alt-right bad guy from World War II, right? That's like a neoliberal classic. That's hilarious. And also, he's saying that people that crossplay as Darth Vader are bad people from World War II. Is that what he's trying to say? Yeah, oh no, people cosplaying as the bad guy. I think Thanos is cool. Does that mean I'm a bad guy? Or I think bad guys from World War II are good people? No, not in the slightest. They were horrible people. But that, just because I think Darth Vader is cool, that doesn't mean, like, I think those people are cool, right? You're getting it twisted. Again, it's a fictional empire from a fictional universe that doesn't exist. It's like, because, okay, so, my parents back in the day, when I was a kid, would not allow me to play or watch stuff that was more mature. Because at that time, you know, they're scared that I can't, like, at the time, I would confuse fiction and nonfiction, right? And this is what happens when, this is like what happens when you don't, like, do that with your child, right? Now they think that people who think the Empire from Star Wars is cool are now bad people from World War II, right? This is what happens when you can't separate reality and fiction, right? Because, like, so according to this guy, if you think the Empire is cool, you think Darth Vader is awesome, or he looks awesome, he is awesome, you know, you think that, you like dressing up as a stormtrooper from Halloween. Yeah, that little kid, you know that little kid who dressed up as Darth Vader and a stormtrooper for Halloween? They're actually, like, bad people from World War II. They're actually alt-right bad people from World War II, fascists. So yeah, your 5-year-old needs to be educated.
It's classic ego.
He needs your child should dress as something appropriate, like unless he can't be white. Like, dress up as Black Panther unless he's white. We can't appropriate black culture. He has to dress up as something else. Dress him up as Captain America. You know.
Centric behavior. It was very easy to get into an argument with Dobson for just about anything. And because of this fact, he became the prime target for massive trolling behavior. It was very...
Individually, that's fine. If you don't like the movie, that's okay. You're not obliged to. If you like whatever the heck that is, that's fine too. It's a good movie. But we are not looking at things from a micro-individualistic point of view. And also, these people like to use big words like micro or macro-individualistic to make themselves sound smarter than they actually are. They probably don't even know what that means. They're just like, oh, this is a big word that I heard my favorite bread tubers say, so now I'm going to say it. We are zooming out and looking at things from a wider and broader perspective. And when we do that, we can see trends in the types of people who like/dislike certain things. And depressingly, there is a lot of alt-right and I cannot speak, I have a lisp. Right-wing siding people.
Very easy to get into an argument with Dobson for just about anything.
Who love Alita and hate Captain Marvel. So why is that? What can these two movies do differently that...
And because of this fact...
would result in a large discrepancy? I don't even know.
He became the prime target for massive
I thought I was referring to Star Wars, so that's why I was reading. Sorry, guys.
Here we go. Any second now.
Chowder.
Any second now.
Humiliation.
Dobson was very famous for being very easy to troll and make fun of. It was not hard at all to agitate him. Over the years, people had found ways to mess with him in increasingly over-the-top ways. I already mentioned the Samus Commission. Well, that one wasn't really a troll, more like a psyop. In 2012, someone walked up to his booth at a convention and sprayed him in the face with water before booking it.
That guy's a W. Normally, I don't condone harassment in any kind, but that guy kind of deserved it. He's a... Yeah.
Dobson had a Minecraft server he spent a ton of free time on, making all these little art projects on
nice.
it, until 4chan found out about it, and of course, did their 4chan thing. It wasn't just trolls with no life either. Dobson was getting angry on every website. He was even getting riled up and blocking people on Miiverse.
Oh
Miiverse! Even little kids knew this guy was a walking punchline. And most famous of all, one day in the mid-2010s, he made a certain comic. Okay. Dobson went to a convention where he was there to sign and sell artwork. While he was at said convention, he witnessed a confrontation two people had while signing that stuck with him enough to make a comic based on
Exactly.
Tell your girls to smile.
Oh my. What in the heck is this? Tell your girls to smile. Hey, quit it. It's Power Girl. Oh no. Here we go.
Hi-oh! Axeman, what are you doing? Leave that
It's
poor woman
Axeman.
alone! Never fear. Dobson is here to save the day.
Help! A bluebird of a door's attacked me with a baseball bat!
Now, no way.
Oh my gosh. This is... Oh my gosh. Again, this is hypocrisy at its finest. Dobson made art that was sexual, right? And you can't go back and be like, you can't go back and be like, guys, I'm such a hero. I'm stopping people from over-sexualizing women. And then you go back and then you draw your art, right? You do all that bad things, right? You draw art, and then you draw a comic like, guys, I'm the hero, guys. I actually am here. Over-sexualization of women is terrible. And then you draw stuff like 2039. Then you draw stuff like this. Or hold on. Let me get it back to where it was like you draw stuff like let me see if I can find the correct, like this, right? Or come on, I'm trying to find something more risque here. So give me a sec. I'm like right here. Hold on, let me turn on. Like you're drawing stuff like this, but then now and then you're drawing, but then you draw comics like this, and you're like, oh yeah, guys, I'm the good guy. I'm the hero. Actually, I'm beating up people like this. Like, you're hilarious.
Happened. Some dude was actually taking pictures of a girl in a Power Girl costume. And yeah, it did happen. And then the picture showed up online.
Oh no! I can't believe you. I can't believe you. Oh no, how could he take pictures of a girl who totally knew what was going on and totally wanted these pictures taken? How dare that person do that? How dare he?
So, a stark contrast to what the Dobson comic was showing. Not only is she not offended, she is presenting herself to the camera. She was into it.
Exactly.
You can get a glimpse of Dobby in the background, no doubt fuming this altercation was happening, and made her the victim in the comic when she isn't one. This man fabricated this entire scenario in his head.
What a scumbag. What a scumbag, right? Now you're making the guy who took the picture like he's some weird perverted person who was inappropriately taking pictures of women, right? When that's not the case. The woman obviously wanted the picture to be taken, right? And so, yeah, what a loser, bro. Honestly, that's why I said I'm glad he got like sprayed with a water bottle, right? He deserved it.
This comic was torn to shreds. People had a field day with this comic. It was the funniest thing Dobson had produced in his entire career.
Yeah.
People started making parodies of it where the ending was changed or the characters were changed.
Oh, yeah!
Tell your girls to smile.
Whatever you're talking about, I don't care. Put Buzz back the way he was, then get lost.
That's hilarious.
This is probably the most famous thing Dobson has ever made. If you know about Dobson anyway, it was probably from this comic and its many parodies. Dobson was already seen as someone to make fun of on social media for a while, not only for not being able to take criticism, not only for calling people every Istanphobe in the book, but for other such incidents, like this one, on August 11th, 2015. Zelda Williams saying it was a hard day for her, and Dobson responds with a meme telling her to calm thy tits. Dobson, that's one way to respond to a woman having a hard day.
Oh, nice.
I wonder what could be causing her distress. I wonder what tragic event could have happened the year previous to make that day hard for her.
Okay. Buddy.
Well, what a thing to say to a woman on the anniversary of her father's death. He deleted the tweet, and it took...
Oh my. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that was a very poor taste.
A heavy amount of pushback for him to finally apologize to her. The amount of backlash Dobson got from that was enormous. Now, imagine that, but instead of people being angry, they're laughing at you. Also around this time, blogs about Dobson's history and antics started popping up, so some of these were actually really helpful for the research of this video, so if anyone who ran those blogs see this, thank you for your kind work, soldier.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
Due to the political climate, the state of Twitter around the time, and now this ass-butting he was now getting, Dobson was easier to rile up more than ever before. This was like getting sprayed in the face with a gun. How would he respond to all this criticism? I'll tell you how. Death threats.
Oh,
so
nice.
many death threats, he ended up getting banned from Twitter and Facebook. Now, a ton of people were digging into and learning about Dobson's past, just to clown on him some more. They found out.
Oh yes, someone's criticizing me on Twitter. Instead of looking in the mirror and thinking, well, it's Twitter, but still, like, everyone's criticizing me, not just from Twitter. Instead of looking in the mirror and going, I wonder if I'm the problem. I wonder if I need to change. No, I'm gonna tell everyone that said this to me to kill themselves. What a great human being.
His plagiarism, and his crippling
What
fear
a
of
nice
carnival
person.
masks. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Dobson has a huge fear of carnival masks.
Oh.
So much in Fortune threads where they were making fun of him, they would constantly post carnival masks to scare him off from reading the threads.
That's hilarious.
If you want to scare your local Dobson off, wear one of these. This also led to a bunch of images and memes connecting Dobson to air pumps and...
Oh boy.
Well, I couldn't ignore it forever, but we must. It is a part of Dobson's story, after all.
What happened? Oh no. How can this get worse?
I don't think he's gonna stop. Come on.
Ew. Inflation. Warning that chapters bears. Hold on. Hold the phone. I don't know if I could show this. If it's up on YouTube, it's fine. This chapter has a very suggestive material review. Okay. So you heard the yeah. Okay, let's go.
Do you remember earlier when I made a joke about Dobson potentially making an NSFW account?
Oh boy.
Well, it turns out he had already beaten me to the punch.
Dang.
Did you really think Dobson's only trace online was his old DeviantArt? Oh, no. He had another identity at one point. Just like the Lightbringer and his love for the green M&M, Dobson had his own skeletons in the closet. Dobson had another DeviantArt account dedicated to the thing he loved.
Oh no. I think I know what this is.
Under the alias Caddy N, this was Dobson's account dedicated to his love for inflation. No, not the thing currently affecting the U.S., but the act of filling people, in this scenario women, specifically anime women from the 90s, with air. Whether it be the whole...
Oh, guys, but it's not okay to objectify women. Let me objectify women.
body or specific...
Like, I wouldn't be... I would be like... I mean, yeah, this is weird. It's a weird fetish, but, like, I would be fine with it if he wasn't going on, like, a whole tirade about how... Man, women that look attractive are bad. Right? Like, I'd be fine with this. Like, I'd still be weirded out, but, like, if he didn't go on a whole tirade, and start attacking people who thought, like, oh, women looking good is fine. You know what I mean?
Arts. Dobson was the one drawing this under this account.
Oh my.
The art styles are damn near indistinguishable. It was not hard to trace this back to Dobson. Dobson would post a ton of art under this account, not just to DeviantArt, but to a whole other website, known as Expansion Oh God.
Oh boy.
Oh God, what have I gotten myself into?
I didn't know this was a thing.
The website is Exactly what you think it is. A website for Dobson to post his artwork of girls getting blown up like balloons. You can view all sorts of comics, art pieces, and even some Flash games. Oh boy! Inflation games!
Inflation
You know the game
games.
Kaboom by Activision, the classic where you catch bombs thrown at you from above? Well, how would you like to play a remake of that, but instead of catching bombs, you're instead blocking nails to keep them from popping inflated anime girls?
That's hilarious.
Video games have peaked. Sadly, it looks like the other two games have been lost to time. The download links don't work, and that's a shame. This
That's
one
a
looked like a
shame.
real winner. That goes for most of the site too. Most of it has been lost to time, and only certain sections of it work anymore. Because you could probably imagine, Dobson didn't really want this still up for people to find, so it's been shut down for well over a decade now. And a lot of you are probably wondering, why am I bringing this up? Why is this relevant? Am I just clowning on a guy for having a weird attraction to something? Am I kink shaming? Well, to be honest, the whole inflation thing isn't even that notable. You used to be able to go on the front page of DeviantArt and you get smacked with inflation art.
Yeah.
It's like basic level internet weirdness. It's not even anything really all that bad at the end of the day.
Yeah,
all this
true.
really comes down to is the hardening of the PP. And there are plenty of places you can go to do that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is the fact that Tom Preston, Andrew Dobson, made this website all those years ago. The same Andrew Dobson who would go on tirades on
Exactly.
Twitter on objectifying women and making them appeal to the
Exactly.
male
That's what I was
gaze
talking
and to
about.
stop doing sexist crap.
And that's what I was talking about. You know, he's the personification of the rule of three, but not for me. Like, it's okay for me to objectify women, but no one else can do it. Only me. Right? And of course, I use the term objectifying women very, you know, with air quotes. But yeah. Like,
Crap, making comics where he beats up guys taking pictures of boobies on ladies who are 100% consenting. He's the one who made this.
exactly.
An entire website dedicated to blowing ladies up,
The
turning them into
hypocrisy.
actual objects where you protect them in Flash games from being popped. Dobson did all of that. He's been throwing stones in his glass house the entire time.
Exactly.
Rules for thee and
But
not
not-
for me.
yeah.
That's the name of the game here. And yet,
Well, I said rule of three because I've heard it that way. But yeah.
of course, once his career took off, he tried scrubbing any and all traces of this past life, but we all know once something is on the internet,
Yeah.
it is next to impossible to take it down. So the archives exist, and they'll stay there. A monument to a man's inflated ego. A reminder of who he once was, and how this will be
Man's
his legacy. on the
inflated
way.
ego.
Almost 20 years of art, from inflation to a slow and painful degradation into the punching bag he would become.
I want to know what happened to him. Now I want to know what happened to him. This is going to be interesting.
Has no style. He has no grace. This punk has a funny face. He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out just for you. Inflate him.
Inflates himself.
After being a walking meme and a punching bag for a couple of years, after being the subject of many a Tumblr blog, in 2020, Dobson would completely disappear from the internet.
Good.
He abandoned his Tumblr, he completely wiped all of his comics off his website, and now the whole website is empty. It's still up, but there's nothing there. It's a ghost of a website now. Everything from Dobson himself has been completely wiped. Everything I had to use here I had to get from third-party sources, including those blogs. It really does seem Dobson just packed everything up and left without telling anyone. Why did Dobson do this? Why did he just delete everything and leave? Well, it's widely believed this was actually a result of interference from his family. His family apparently told him to touch girls.
Oh, thank God he has a family that cares about him. In most of these stories, the family doesn't even care. Oh, thank the Lord Jesus that this man, his family actually cares about him and told him to touch grass. Thank the Lord. Like, good grief. This is honestly kind of a happier ending to Dobson.
Grass. Well, that's simplifying it too much. It is actually believed that Dobson's brother was getting a very high-profile government job, and his brother simply being related to Dobson, he lost said job opportunity. Dobson's actions of threatening...
Never mind. I take it back. I thought they were doing it because of his well-being, but no, it's because his brother lost his job, which is sad, but still kind of hilarious. Like, if my brother was the reason why I lost my job, I think I will, like, disown my family. I'll disown
people
him.
Online, threatening politicians and telling them to off themselves, costed his brother a job. And so his family told him to just stop posting online. And
Thank
it seems
God.
like that's what happened. Dobson was the tale of a man who refused to listen. He refused to take criticism. He refused to do what many believed was better for him. Your good intentions meant nothing to him. You were just a troll or a bigot if you disagreed with him. He stuck to that mantra, and he never let it go. It didn't help that the things he was making constantly were for him and him alone, and claimed it was him showing support for marginalized groups. After years and years of being a walking punchline, he decided the best thing to do was to leave.
Well, he didn't
3 years
decide.
later, and surprisingly, Tom Preston still has not returned to the internet. All the blogs dedicated to Dobson, all the people documenting his history, have dried up, because he just isn't here anymore. The So You're a Cartoonist website is still up, which means he's probably still paying for the domain. But there's nothing on here, so he's paying for essentially nothing.
So he might
Maybe
be
he's
coming
planning
back.
for a big comeback,
Yeah,
as a
that's what I'm
changed man,
assuming.
no longer the weird, toxic individual he once was. But honestly, if you ask me, the internet did more damage to Tom Preston than anything. I think it's better he stay off it
same.
and live his life away from it.
Yep.
Dobson spent his whole life wanting to draw. I have no doubt in my mind he still is. But only for himself and his friends and family, where they're probably less likely to criticize him. He can now draw to his heart's content, without anyone making fun of him for it. Now he can live out his career as a cartoonist in solitude, drawing all the lesbian blimp women he wants. And if that's what he wants to do, well, who are we to take that away from him? God bless, like and subscribe, and good night.
Very good video. Yeah, I recommend it. After this stream is over, I will put this in. I'll put all the videos we watched in the description. So, yeah, but very good video, very funny guy. So, let's watch a handful of others. Not too long though, unless they're very long. Then, we can watch a couple other videos. So, what do we want to watch, guys? This video was very funny. I really liked it. Go watch it. It's called The Story of Dobson, the world's wackiest webcomic creator. But yeah, that guy, yeah, I hope he stays off for his own sake. Not just for our sake, but his own sake. Right. Yeah. So, do you guys have any other ideas of what we should watch? I think. Let's see. Do we want to watch? Like, what are we thinking? Work from home jobs? Why is that in my search history? Okay. Okay, that's random. Anything else we want to watch here? Any suggestions? We can watch something sillier. You know, nothing serious. Do you guys want to watch something silly? I know something that's silly we can watch. Are we all for that, chat? Oh, you have another video? Okay. Alright. So, let's see what Toon has, and if it's stupid, then we'll watch something silly. No offense, Toon. Okay. We'll see what Toon has, and then we'll vibe to it. Oh, the Lorax. Okay. The okay. Worst. Yeah, hopefully I'll just search this. I'm lazy. I'm feeling lazy today. Right here, 14 minutes. Okay, that's good.
I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It provides 3 times stress sweat protection.
Alright.
Bounty Mega Roll. 4 rolls
Ignore
in
the
one.
ad, please.
I got hundreds on me, keep them ops running. I just smoke out, you can keep it coming. I got bloodage with me.
Rest in peace, Big Rizzle.
Yeah, Rev.
Yo, I hit the jeweler, got some goals. I sold a little weed, but I could never sell my soul.
Only Mazda could reimagine driving with revolutionary Skyactiv technology.
Ever wonder why big car companies pay 2% tax while the guys on the assembly line pay 40%? It's called consolidation. Strengthen governments and corporations, weaken individuals. With taxes, this can be done imperceptibly over time. So...
The Lorax is one of the worst adaptations of all time. I hate this movie on a very personal level, and I have a very good reason as to why. So the original Lorax book, right? Written by a Dr. Seuss. All jokes aside though, this is probably Seuss's magnum opus. And while it is a children's book, it's certainly a profound one. One with environmentalist themes that...
I haven't read the Lorax book, by the way. I did see the 2012 movie, but I haven't read the book or saw the original animated movie.
While not the most subtle, are told in a brilliant, ingenious way. The story details the rise and fall of the Onceler, a faceless businessman who destroys truffula trees for money. However, his escapades are constantly interrupted by the Lorax, a strange orange creature who quote-unquote speaks for the trees. In the end, he ends up destroying the environment, and the Lorax goes missing. The story then ends with the Onceler revealing that he has one last truffula tree seed. He then gives the seed to the little boy he's been narrating to the whole time. And what's important is that both of these characters are faceless in their own way. The Onceler is faceless because he's meant to represent any old businessman, and the boy is meant to represent you, the reader. If you think about it, this book is the original Half-Life 2.
Dr. Freeman. What's up? Can a G come up in your crib?
However, there's a problem. For every good Half-Life game, there's always a hunt down the Freeman.
Mr. Mitchell, you're cringe.
For every great piece of art, there's going to be something to ruin it. We've seen examples of this on this very channel with films like Wonder Woman 1984. Works that just miss the entire point by a mile. And with all of this, what I'm trying to say is, the Lorax 2012 is fucking garbage. So our film opens with the Minions, because this film is made by the Minions company. We then open in Thneedville, where we get my favorite, a shitty song number. So problem number 1, the song itself is really bad. It's so generic and forgettable, I already forget how it goes. But secondly, it's easily the worst introduction to a dystopia I've ever seen. Everyone is so overly happy, and it immediately begs the question, why change the world when humanity is...
Exactly, right? That's something I didn't get. Like, if these people are fine with this lifestyle, then why do they care at the end of the movie when he's like, guys, let's replant the trees? Like, if I was in this lifestyle, I'm like, why? I would be like I'd be like the outcast. I'd be like, well, why should we, though? Because I like living here, right?
Already fine. And thirdly, it bastardizes the original source material. So the original book starts off really bleak. It's already a desolate wasteland from the get-go. And it makes you wonder, how did it get this way and how do we fix it? So the original brilliant storytelling of the book is completely pissed on in this version. We're barely even like 2 minutes in and this film already sucks fucking dick. It also doesn't help that the lyrics aren't subtle at all.
And that on that fish
So one shitty musical number later, we meet with our main character, who is a horribly miscast with Zac Efron, who I will now be calling Zac for the rest of this video. He's trying to get with the generic love interest, who's played by Taylor Swift. Who is this? Oh yeah, that's the that's the girl Kanye made famous. Oh yeah. Anyways, so generic romance happens. Wow, what a great change from the original book, making the plot super generic. She then takes him out back and shows him the Donda cover art, and he's all like, "Wow, you're a really good painter." But then Taylor talks about how she wants to see the tree. So Zac Efron's all like,
if a guy somehow got you one.
Well, I'd probably marry him on the spot.
Okay, so in the original book, right, the boy wanted Truffula seeds so he could kind of stop his world from being a shitty wasteland. But in this version, oh, he just wants some pussy. He wants to get a little leg.
Exactly. I mean, I respect the hustle. Like, I'm a hustler myself. I subscribe to Andrew Tate's Hustler University, so I'm a hustler myself, and I can respect the cause, but like, again, you're adapting a book. This book I would not adapt into a movie because it just doesn't fit a movie format, right? But like, again, like he's saying, it's missing the point of the book. I feel like that's how you can sum up this movie. It's missing the point of the book.
Bro, which is, you know, a fantastic change from the original, removing all the urgency. Anyways, cut to Zac's family dinner, where unfunny jokes happen.
Disco!
So Zac's all like, I need a tree, and the grandma's all like, I know. So the boy goes out to see the Onceler, and that's about it. Cut to the generic bad guy. He wants to sell fresh air to people, but if he's selling fresh air, then how do they breathe? Anyways, all jokes aside, and I know Doug already said it, but he also ripped off my cat's joke. But the fact that there's a generic businessman character in this kind of ruins the original book. In the original book, the Onceler kind of had a Captain Walker complex. He didn't mean to harm anyone, but his greed led him to cutting down Truffula trees, destroying the environment, and committing a bunch of war crimes. All of a sudden, that dimension is completely gone with the introduction of this generic-ass villain. No longer is the story about one man's downward spiral into greed. Now it's about stopping the big bad guy, the big bad guy. Anyways, he finds out Zac is leaving, and that's about it. Cut to Zac, who finally finds the Onceler. And after a bit of talking that I'm going to skip through because we don't have time for it, we flash back to the Onceler, who now has a face, which totally doesn't ruin the original book at all. What? Why? Why do they feel the need to do this? You would think with the film as creatively devoid as this, it would be more effort to give characters like this a personality. Not only do the changes not make sense from an adaptation perspective, they also don't even make sense on a creatively bankrupt level. Anyway, so he sees the Truffula trees, and he's all like, whoa! And by the way, the Onceler is one rad dude, because he has the ability to play guitar. This is the plan! And then a pointless song number happens. You know, the original book didn't have song numbers. So the Onceler cuts down a tree, and the Minions knockoffs are all like, oh no. And then the Lorax pops out.
Like, I'm fine with the songs being there. Because, it wasn't in the original, but I'm fine with it.
He then sees the dead tree, and they all hold a funeral for the tree, and that's about it. The Lorax then meets up with the Onceler and is all like, why'd you chop down my tree?
I know what you want.
And long story short, the Lorax wants him to leave, but he epic fails. But then, for no reason, in real life, the Onceler pauses the story in front of Zac, because that's what we really wanted. The amazing story of the random boy character from the Lorax. We then get an imagination scene that has no bearing on the story. So a bunch of bullshit happens and the boy leaves. But he's caught by the bad guy, who talks about how he's evil. I'm glad this film has such a dynamic villain.
You listen to me, boy.
Zac then returns to the Onceler, where we get a comedy.
Playing the Donkey Kong. That's usually to impress some boobies. She's not some girl.
She's a femboy. We then flash back again, this time to the Lorax trying to murder the Onceler and drown him. Thankfully, though, we have very funny pop culture references that are sure to make you laugh.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is DJ.
But then they save him to who the fuck. The Lorax then continues to torture the Onceler, leaving him in a perpetual state of agony, which is a really stupid decision overall. All this makes the Lorax an intrusive and unlikable character, which is ironic since the Onceler is intrusive in the book, and part of the point of the original was to not intrude into other people's homes. But who the fuck cares? Bugs Bunny. So long story short, the Onceler sells his Sneed and the people like it, leading to another generic shitty song number. The Onceler's family then moves into the Thanid place, and after getting introduced to a bunch of obnoxious characters I don't care about, we then get this joke.
You wouldn't hit a woman. That's a woman.
So the Onceler is then pressured by his family to make more money, which once again completely ruins the original. The Onceler was originally a flawed and complex character whose downward spiral was caused by him and him alone. Tell me, whose dumbass idea was it to put in these dumb family characters and just to butcher the original source material like this? A film based on a book about the evils of corporatism, ironically, is one of the most corporate pieces of shit I've ever seen.
That's one of the funniest parts about this movie is that it was obviously made for money, but like it's talking about why money is bad, or not why money, but why like corporations that like destroy good things because for money, and like they're like, wow, these corporations suck. It reminds me of when Disney tries to virtue signal, but then like they cut out those parts in like China. Or, like, they lower the black person in China because they want to still sell in China. It's like the hypocrisy is amazing.
So the Lorax is all like,
you're better than this!
But the Onceler's all like,
bad? I'm not bad. I'm the good guy here. This wasn't my fault.
Of course, this completely contrived lack of subtlety transitions us into the most popular song of the film.
That I cannot be. I'm just doing what comes naturally. Help it.
And I mean, it is the best song in the movie. It's not a good song by any means. In fact, it's really generic and really annoying. And I say this as a Playboy Cardi fan, but it is the best song in the movie. But believe it or not, and so people don't bother me about it, this was originally a completely different song called Biggering. This song was removed for being way too dark, but yet it is indeed a miles better song than How Bad Can I Be. It's an overall really decent Pink Floyd knockoff. It wouldn't have fixed my other problems with the movie, but it's some pretty interesting stuff. Too bad the studio just doesn't give a shit.
Welcome to San Andreas, I'm CJ from Grove
So the Onceler turns into a has-been hotel character. So over the course of one song number, the Onceler becomes evil. But then the Lorax is all like, oh, you're evil now. But the Onceler is all like, you can't tell me what to do. And then the last tree is cut down, and it's very sad. So everyone moves away, and the Onceler is broke as fuck now. The Lorax then leaves, and that's about it. Wow, what a powerful scene. I hope they don't fuck it up later in the movie. So the Onceler gives the boy the seed, and this is where the original would end, with the message of the book being continued by you. But fuck that shit. Our boy Zach needs some pussy. So he arrives home, but the bad guy's in his home. So long story short, Zach and his family escape with the seed. Zach also shows the one girl the seed, and he's like, hey baby, I want pussy. So then there's an epic car chase, and it's kind of boring to be honest. He was actually about to plant the tree, but the bad guy's all like, oh, who needs the tree? You gotta love how on the nose his speech is. It's so incredibly devoid of subtlety, it actually
like
hurts.
Generic.
Filthy, spewing that sticky, nasty.
It's almost like this film was made by a corporation. The boy tears down this wall here, and everyone's like, whoa, the world is actually shit. The boy talks about the Industrial Society. He shows everyone the tree, and they're all like, what? Poggers! We then get another obligatory song number. This time the one from those really funny and topical memes. So the song happens, I don't know,
Playboy Cardi. You're doing the whip, the nay-nay.
I say let it die. Let it die, let it die.
Let it swivel up and down.
Doing your bar.
So the bad guy is then publicly executed. The boy then plants the seed, then he gets laid by his e-girl. Then, as one final fuck you, the Lorax comes back to the Onceler, as if the original work wasn't pissed on enough. And that's how the film ends. Going back to that ending real quick, the original ending was just so powerful. Yes, it was significantly darker, which is why it was so good in the first place. You realize that the Onceler fucked up massively, and the responsibility of the world is on you. It may be bleak, but it's certainly not a hopeless. Now, with this overly optimistic ending in place, there's now a complete dissonance. The story is now way less personal and intimate. And this isn't the only time in the film where this happens either. Giving the boy a personality and a girlfriend, showing the Onceler's face, giving him an overbearing family, adding a generic businessman villain. The Lorax universe is fleshed out in ways that it really shouldn't be. All of a sudden, the story goes from a really powerful environmentalist commentary to an extreme extremely generic by-the-numbers kids movie. This film is one of the worst adaptations of all time, and I fully stand by that. This movie is a video game movie level of bad. I'm gonna say it right now, the Cat in the Hat movie was better, the Mike Myers one. So in conclusion, this movie sucks. I hope Illumination goes out of business, and most importantly, Doug Walker, stop stealing my joke!
Good video. I totally agree again. After the stream is over. Sorry I didn't have much to say. It's just like, because all I would be saying the whole video would be like, yeah, I agree. Yes, queen. Yeah, that's right. You know, that's why I didn't have much to say. He also took all the jokes I was gonna do. I can't believe it. What a joke thief. But how bad? Hold on. Let me see something here. I think, okay, the last video for the stream. This stream's been going on for like 10 billion years. Let's do something I can actually react to and make fun of. Let's watch. I have no clue. Guys, what should we watch? What is something we could watch? I'm running out of steam here. I probably should have planned on stuff we should watch instead of waiting for everyone to tell me what to watch. Let's do. Huh? My chat just disappeared. Okay, there we go. I have another vid. Okay, last vid. Thank you, too. Sorry, I was running out of steam there. You saved my life. Give me the name and I'll search it up. You saved my life. You saved this stream from becoming a dumpster fire. Let's do... So, yeah. Just give me the name and I'll find it. Also, subscribe to me if you're new, because W, and I have to say that because I'm a YouTuber. Okay, the comment made everyone. Okay, another Dumpsville. Okay, here we go.
No, don't pull. No.
Where'd you move here from? Hey everyone, it's shelling time again. So first of all, I got my old Twitter back, so that's gonna be my main from now on.
Do you remember me now? Can't be. You were killed in Zanzibar.
My main Twitter account is Top Brick Boss, and my alt account is Lone Grips. Follow whichever one you want, I guess. I also have Instagram, that one too. And I have El Patreon. You can give me money. If I get $1,000, I'll post feed pics or something. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I have a new podcast now. The podcast is called A Film Sheet, and you can subscribe and watch our new episodes right now. If you want to see me talk movies with Ella Smart and Jaden from the Sonic Show, hit the link down below and subscribe. Not convinced yet? Here's one of our funniest moments.
If anyone wants to do stuff with me, whoa, I didn't mean like that. No. I mean like, if anyone wants to do goofy ass stuff with me, you gotta talk to my business person. Okay. I don't even know where that joke was going. I need to make a Discord server. I'm not doing that, by the way. But if you do want to collab with me, let me know, and I'll, you gotta, yeah, I'm gonna I gotta make a Discord server.
Wow, wasn't that moment hilarious? These moments and more on our podcast Film Sheet. Anyways, that's all. Here's the actual YouTube video. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the saddest story you have ever witnessed? And furthermore, why do we as...
The saddest story, okay. The saddest story I've ever read or witnessed. That's a tough one. Like, I don't watch sad stuff. Like, purposefully anyways. So, I can't really answer that. That's very vague.
Humans enjoy sad stories. Is it for empathy or just to feel something? Well, one thing's for certain, video game violence is bad. Violent video games, bro, you gotta go to church where it totally isn't violent.
Now, Gordon, this is very crucial. You have to take your Xbox.
Oh my.
And trash that combine.
Do you guys remember Life Isn't Perfect Sad Story? Also known as the Try Not to Cry Challenge, also known as that video that Flight Reacts reacted to. A lot of you my age might actually remember this story, but what you might not remember is just how dog shit it is. Or how the original video isn't the entire full story.
Awesome was not told the whole truth, to say the least.
Or the unfinished sequel that exists. Now, the actual name of this comic is A Little Gaming Moment, created by some dude named Gear Boy, and released in 7 whole parts. Wow, ambitious. Now, normally, I'm not a fan of doing shit like this. I've insulted a lot of people's works throughout the years, but a lot of them are made by pretty sizable studios and companies. This comic, though, is made by just one guy. It's an unprofessional personal work, and to insult that would be pretty much just bullying. And furthermore, a wise man once said, "Man, I'm gonna whip this hoe." But you know what? Fuck it. The guy's been inactive for years, and I want to talk about it. So sit back, boys, as we talk about whatever the fuck this bullshit is. Have you taken a moment to imagine it? These are the first words we hear as a baby is born. We then cut to the next scene where a boy is baking cookies and writing on a dog.
I mean, like, the animation is very basic, but so far, nothing offensive. That's about the worst thing I can say so far.
In the back. That is not good for the dog. The boy isn't playing soccer all by himself, fucking loser, but then notices something. A girl getting bullied from the guys from the beginning of Fallout 3.
Don't mess with the tunnel snakes.
This one has no fucking neck.
Finally, a
webcomic.
for me.
The boy shakes his fist and says an exclamation point. The bullies then stare at him and then beat him up, leaving him all alone in the cold rain. Thankfully, the girl helps him up and gives him a lollipop, and that's the end of part 1. The boy, however, is lonely, carrying on to part 2 as he celebrates his birthday all alone. But thankfully, a ring at the doorbell, and it's the girl from his childhood. Sadly, she only has a birthday card, though. What the fuck, stupid bitch? I wanted a goddamn PS5! However, this Rizzler technique works as the boy asks a question mark to her. This, of course, translates to Nintendo 64 and plenty of Turok 3. Our characters then grow up and the girl becomes the emo.
You've never listened to When heavens divide.
Yeah, I'm going to college in Urbana just so I could be in the same vicinity as the
Although they play The Fuck Is That, Glorp Station, the boy then buys her a dog and he plays Wonderwall for her, and they kiss in front of a stock photo and get married. And now they're painting and she's suddenly pregnant, but then something happens. The man rushes to the hospital and now the wife is giving birth. But sadly, because this is a webcomic from the mid-2000s...
yeah, the baby has to die. That's how it goes. This is Sad Story Classic. The reason why they do this, you want to know why, is because of Up. Do you guys know Up? I bet you do. And in that movie, in the beginning, there's the infamous sad part where it goes from the old man, forget his name. I'm not rewatching that movie. Not because I hate it. It's amazing. It's one of the best Pixar or Disney movies ever. No, it was Pixar. The best Pixar movie ever made. But in the beginning, where the old man likes having a nice life, and then bam, no baby. They want a baby, right? No baby. And then she dies. So, and the reason why, that's why, like, every, like, you know, every, like, kid making a comic in, like, the 2000s was because of that movie. That's what happened. That's why. So, there you go. There's some lore for you. That's why, like, in the 2000s, when you want to make a sad comic, have the baby die. Because in Up, that's how it works. And you cried. But unlike in Up, this is not sad. This is hilarious.
She had a fucking miscarriage. I can only imagine how she must be reeling from the loss right now. But thankfully, adoption is always an option. And our main couple has adopted a little child they can call their own. And who Flight Reacts thinks is the baby that was born from the wife's stomach.
Oh no, she didn't lose a baby. It's right there. Maybe the baby was sick or some shit.
Please never change Flight React. The boy then meets the dog, who then sniffs him and licks him, and Flight Reacts thinks he's saying smile, smile.
Smile, smile, that's what the dog is saying.
Please never change Flight React. They then take a bath with a teddy bear for some reason, and they play outside, and then they watch a movie, hopefully it's The Gray. And now the dog's playing with his balls, but then the ball rolls into the street and a car approaches them. Oh no! The family who just now notices turn their...
The first thing I think of is Pet Cemetery. And then the father takes the dead dog to the ancient Indian burial ground. And then buries him in the pet cemetery. I hope that's what happens. This reminds me of... It's just like, it's not a cat, it's a dog this time.
Heads. And the dog, who is completely fine enough to walk back, is
I thought it was... thought it died.
Bleeding. Our main character's...
This isn't realistic at all. El Riz.
Trusted companion gives him one final goodbye as he fades into...
El Comic.
To the abyss. Time passes, but they don't exactly get easier for our main character. He drives to the hospital, and his wife, who's suffering from cancer, needs expensive treatment to live. And she lives, but now the family's in financial debt, meaning one thing only.
Doing drugs.
Now the family's in a darker spot than they've ever been. Our main character especially affected, causing him to drink his sorrows away like Max Payne 3. Yeah, it could be worse. He could be in Brazil, but the man is then approached by a racing game NPC who offers him a private military contract? Dude, bro's about to join Mother Base. He's about to be a diamond dog. So our hero says goodbye to his family and heads for Zanzibar land. And while there, things are looking dire. Our main character's friend dies by gunfire. And
this reminds me of like a Roblox sad story. You know, like I actually used to grind those. Not even gonna lie. I used to watch people react to like these sad Roblox stories, and they were the funniest thing. Like, looking back, I thought they were, like, so deep. I remember thinking they were super deep. And then now I look back and I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I did not mean for that to rhyme at all, oh my god. But during this darkest moment, the man is cornered, but reaches into his pocket and remembers something. Well, we've come this far. That birthday card his wife gave to him years and years ago. Have you taken a moment to imagine it all? Our protag is filled with determination. Just a moment. The man fires at...
My lawyers advising not to finish this.
Before you pull the trigger, and a boom. The man is shot in the head, blood squirting out of his body. Boom, a headshot! We cut to some random
360 no scope. What the?
Fucking gamers who remark, these bots are this campaign level is so easy. Oh great, is this a video game violence bad thing?
Oh, nah. Nah. They did not just do that, bro. Oh, L Comic in the chat. L Comic. L Riz. L Comic. L Comic. L Comic. L Riz. L Comic, bro. L Comic. L Riz, bro. L Comic. F for failure. What is this? L Comic, bro. L Comic. Video games is bad for you. Nah. 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 I'm like, I thought this was going a whole different way. Honestly, like, this is some Rian Johnson stuff right here. Did Rian Johnson make this? Like, is this Rian Johnson? You know, the guy who made The Last Jedi, who was flexing about how subversive it was? But, like, this is a bad way to subvert expectations. I thought it was a joke. Like, okay, if you're gonna say the argument that video games are bad, you did it the complete wrong way. So what they did was they took a fictional character from a video game, gave him a backstory, like some NPC that you shoot in a video game, and then said, that's why video games are bad. What? So you're giving an NPC... That's like saying... Oh yeah, you see that NPC that you killed in GTA 4? He actually had a family. He had a wife and kids. He was just doing drugs because he just has to support his family. What? Okay, if you want to make a video games are bad comic, here's how you do it. Say that a kid that I know it's cringe. It's as cringe as this. Or it's not as cringe as this, but it makes more sense. I mean, it is as cringe as this, but it makes more sense. Say like, oh, this guy played video games and now he's in jail. Like, that's way better than this, bro. This is so dumb.
Fun fact, the scene is actually cut out of the Life Isn't Perfect film adaptation on YouTube version of this. So people putting this shit in Windows Movie Maker don't even like it. You know what though? Sniper Chick can get it though. God damn, look at her. But it's just a game, right? The young adopted boy in a suit and tie looks at his father's gravestone. And on the epitaph, in memory of a caring father and a loving mother. And right below it, a fucking lollipop.
Oh my
which
gosh.
is a reference to the beginning of the story.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, this song is Seabreeze from MGS3. How long am I gonna fucking play this? So a lot of people find this story to be extremely sad and somber and depressing. Of course, a lot of these people are 14 years old. Other people will call it stupid and pretentious and dumb. Of course, a lot of these people are 14 years old. My problem is that the story is kind of pointless overall. Like, what's the point here? Is it that life sucks? Well, gee golly, I couldn't guess that one. Is it that war is bad? Well, gee golly, I couldn't guess that one. Is it that life keeps going no matter what? Well, that's a nice message, but what's the point of the video game scene?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
it that a video game violence is bad? Next time you shoot someone in a video game and think about who you're shooting. It's a very cheap way of commentating on video game violence. The story reminds me of that one Austin Powers joke where the henchman dies and then the family gets the news and they start crying about it. Except this is completely unironic. The issue is that this is an absurd thing to kind of critique. For one thing, like obviously context. If I kill a Nazi in a World War II shooter, I'm not gonna feel bad for him. And if I kill a Halo alien, I doubt his family's gonna miss him. Even in like modern military shooters, they're usually terrorists we're killing. It's like, who cares? That's not what we're focusing on in the narrative.
And even if it's like a regular NPC, like still, who cares, right? If it's just like a regular NPC, I don't even really care, right? Okay, man. Does that mean I'm a psychopath who just wants to go on a rampage? No. That just means I'm like a guy who just likes killing people and okay, cut that out. No, that ain't it, Chief. That just means I just like having fun in video games, okay? That doesn't mean I'm a psychopath and I'm gonna go shoot up a school or something, right? That just means like, oh, I'm having fun. Like, come on.
Video games in
this actually makes me want to play Black Ops 1 again. I need to play that.
Their own medium have commented on their own violence better than this comic book here. Both the Metal Gear franchise and Spec Ops The Line are very self-reflective, and they're also very focused. Focusing less on, oh, look how sad this is, the main character has a family, and more on the actual shit war does to an individual.
Exactly.
Like, take Spec Ops, for example. You see, a Spec Ops isn't fucked up because Walker has a family, or the soldiers have a family. In fact, none of that is mentioned at all, period. It's fucked up because the main character, Captain Walker, Walker pushes himself deeper and deeper into a hole of war depravity. He's become delusional and lost all sense of reality. The scary part isn't Walker losing his family, it's him losing himself. And the implication of an outside life never being the same will always haunt him. That's scary.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Metal Gear Solid 3 has the sorrow.
That's how you do like a war is bad video, or that's how you do like a violence is bad type thing. Like you show like, because this is actually what happens to people from the military. That's why like, I don't know if you've heard of like this, but like I've seen like a weird pattern that a lot of ex-military people like come back and they're like some of them commit crimes and stuff, and they like, you know, do terrible things because they're messed up after war, right? And no one gave them the help they needed. And so, yeah, like that's a great depiction of it's more realistic than this comic book is that's trying to depict this. It's hilarious.
Boss fight where you have to wander through a river full of the ghosts of every enemy you kill, and the boss is harder depending on your actual kill count. Metal Gear Solid 3 includes the same criticism that A Little Gaming Moment includes, but only includes it as one part of the story, in order to explore its actual theme, how morality is dictated by times and is a lot more fluid than we think it is. Going back to A Little Gaming Moment, it's essentially just sadness porn. There's no real point to it, but you do get a quick fix of sadness, I guess, even though it ends up not actually having a point. If you're gonna make a sad story, have there be a real point to it. Some kind of conclusion you can at least try to come to. Now here's the good news though, A Little Gaming Moment is at least a lot better than its sequel.
Oh no. We gotta see this.
That's right, there's a sequel, and it's really bad, but in a really entertaining, just fucking absurd way. Gear Boy went full Hideo Kojima.
Did you like it?
This one is called A Little Movie Moment, and dear fucking god. So the story begins with a little girl who is abused by her father, a father who spends her Paris piggy bank money on, I guess, like, whatever he's smoking here. She then sees the main characters from the first story, and then, man, I sure love this tasteful—
No, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this. L in the chat. L in the chat, bro. L. For that, you deserve 5 L's. Nah, not even 1 L. We gotta do 5 L's, bro. Bro, what? Bro. Like, nah. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. I don't even think I need to explain what fake, like, garnering fake sympathy is, right? Like, that's such a superficial way to garner sympathy, and it's very disgusting. That is El Bozo. Nah, I ain't even.
Full use of disturbing topics.
Exactly.
But now she's in the military,
Exactly.
and what kind of logo is that? Well, it turns out she's part of a—
She's a bad. She kind of looks like a. It looks like the Gears of War's logo, kinda. You know, the one with the red, like, mechanical. Bro, what in the heck am I saying, bro? The one with the, like, gear, and then in the middle is like a red skull. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
I kid you not, dystopian Nazi military government in Paris, where she's ordered to squad fire execute people. What is going on? And some sniper's about to execute her, but is blocked by a giant robot. Okay, it is Metal Gear now. And the girl is now crying that she's executing people, but she sees the sniper who then puts a flower in her gun. But now the girl has this cute romance in the middle of the fucking Nazi Germany.
Now the art looks kind of ugly. Like, before it was like, bad, but it was, like, kind of charming. Now it's just, like, ugly. Like, it's like, super ugly now. She kind of looks like the sniper. Facts. Sniper wolf. Oh, man. She probably stalks, people. She probably stalked people after this. Probably went to the sniper guy's house and stalked him after that.
Snake can love Bloom on a battlefield. And then there are more squad executions and cute romance moments, but then turns out she executes the guy she's in love with, and that's where the story ends. I presume more chapters were meant to be made, but Gear Boy just never ended up finishing them. So what you're left with is a tonally inconsistent mess. One that is so outlandishly bonkers, and a complete departure from the slightly grounded original. And again, it's literally unfinished. We'll never know how it ends. Oh well, I hope Gear Boy's in a better place now, wherever he is. Now the real question, why did I make a whole video on this? Yeah, that kind of felt like it.
Okay, yeah. Good video, W video. L Comics, but L Comics actually. But yeah, that's like, yeah. Like the first comic book, like, I mean, for how dumb it was, at least it had like the art style was at least kind of charming in a weird way, like. But here it's just like, you know. But yeah, so I think that's the last video I want to react to. So yeah, thank you all for coming by. Y'all are excellent. Again, if you want to, so after the stream is done, I'm going to go and put these videos in the description. So yeah. Like, it will take like a minute or two, but yeah, you can come back and see the videos, and you can watch them, you know, if you want to. But yeah, if you're new, I try to make content a lot. I try to stream at least once a week and try to make a video once a week. But yeah, consider subscribing if you like this stuff. But yeah. Thank you all for stopping by. This was a fun ride. I will see you all later. Goodbye.